Check this out.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Chino.
Brothers.
Chino.
You're like a DJ, but you're playing videos.
This is DJ Ace in the house, and you watching the Chino Brothers. Hey, don't miss their shows.
So what's your podcast about?
Hip-hop music.
Hey, what's up? This is DJ Redeem, and you're tuned in to the Chinks Brothers Show.
You got these Chinese.
Those Chinese, they work hard.
You girls took your brother to hip-hop party?
Yo, what up? This your boy Mellow Man Ace at Padrino, and you're checking out the Chino Brothers right here. Keep it locked.
What's my name, son?
Dope. Yeah, I love it. Oh, that was the first time I watched that. I didn't even watch it when you sent it to me. I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
like, so wait. Oh, that was sick, bro. I love those intros, man. They get me hyped for the show.
Bro, I told you I couldn't even believe that I produced that, but I knew we had Lokust Luciano on the show today, and I saw his production level. So I said, I got to bring it to the next level, bro, because we can't look like suckers talking to this young rapper, bro. You know what I mean? We're already old, dude. I mean, come on now. Talking to a young person, I don't even know what we're gonna be talking to him about TikTok or whatever these
TikTok,
children.
the hippity hoppity. I don't
What
know
is it?
what we're
Sheesh? Is that how you do? Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah. Sherilyn said awesome intro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, that was sick, man. Yeah, so this guest we got coming up, Lokust Luciano, you already mentioned him. He's big in the hip hop scene here in Bakersfield. And dude, we've always covered DJs and stuff and radio people and everything, but I think Mellow Man Ace might be the only other hip hop rapper. You know what I'm saying?
What about the Hated, bro?
The Hated, yes.
How dare you?
Another one. Yes, the Hated. Representing
24
Sean.
kg, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Isn't he
KG's
a
a
rapper?
DJ and a rapper and a radio guy. Yeah, he's
What about
he's a little bit of
Ilflo? Isn't
everything.
Ilflo's
Ilflo started as a rapper. Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
what his
And then
rap name was though.
Exposed. Locust will probably
Expose.
know.
I don't know.
I think it was Exposed. Yeah, that's true. But it's nice seeing like a refreshing new hip hop artist. And we've seen I've watched his videos on YouTube. I've seen him on social media
And his
all the time.
production's tight, son.
And it's really
the dude comes correct,
dope-ish,
bro.
man.
He ain't messing
Yeah.
around. This ain't that fool that came to your uncle's party and is spitting raps over a PS5 or something. You know what I mean? Like this ain't that cat, bro. This is the real one.
Rocking
So-
a YouTube instrumental on his phone.
Yeah, that ain't Lokust, bro. If that's what you're looking for, hire another rapper. If you're looking for another real ones, bro, you better pick up Lokust.
Dope. Hey, is our live studio audience
Yeah, man, they're all geared up, bro.
wide awake? All right, let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chino Brothers. Our guest, Lokust Luciano.
Woo woo. What up, homies?
What's up, dude?
What's up, y'all, man? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Heck yeah.
Listen to this crowd. I mean,
Yeah, they're excited for you. Yeah.
I mean,
Baby
Yeah.
George. Baby George, what's up?
Baby
Yeah.
George.
What up, George? How you doing? Yeah, man.
All right, check it out. Listen up, everybody. I'm cutting the audience short tonight. If you're not here tonight for Lokust Luciano, you're here for the wrong reason because we're about to have a fun time talking to this young dude. All right, boy. Let's start it out. So, how old were you when you started getting into hip hop music?
To be honest, I started writing poetry at about the age of 8. It was like at the end of 8. I got into poetry because my teacher, we had to write this poem, and we had to write a poem for class, and I ended up writing a poem called Black. And I was talking about, I don't remember because I was a kid and I smoke a lot of weed, man. So, memory lapses and whatnot.
At
Just
8?
keeping it-
Wait.
I forget what grade I was in. I was in
8, you'd be like what?
Oh,
3rd, 4th grade?
no. Yeah, I was in it was 3rd grade. It was
Okay.
3rd grade when we had to do it. You're right. See, there we go. See, my brain's back on track now. It's like an old Buick. That transmission gets to slipping. But yeah, I was in 3rd grade, and I wrote this poem, and apparently it was a big deal. They ended up making me recite it in front of a bunch of people, and it was a thing. And I don't know, I just got really into poetry. I liked Edgar Allan Poe. I like dark stuff because there's light in it. You just have to find it. People, music, same thing. Sad music, there's light in it. You just got to find it and you got to look for it. So, same thing. So just kind of started as poetry, and then my cousin Eric, rest in peace, that gave me a CD, and it ended up being "The Calm Before the Storm," which was from Tech Nine before he went on to do strange music and whatnot. I think he was still on J Core at the time, so that kind of like I like him because he was weird, he was different. Because I had heard a lot of rap because of my cousins, but he was different. I was like, yo, this dude's tight. Same thing with E40. E40 was kind of like, oh, this dude's dope. You know, he was different. So I don't know. I wanted to rap, and yeah, it didn't go over very well with kids in my class. You know, I got picked on a lot of stuff. I was poor. It was more because I was poor than being crippled, but that was somewhat part of it. You know what I mean?
Huh. What?
Yeah.
Hey, what school did you go to? Just for those in Bakersfield. So we
Well,
know.
so I was born in Bakersfield, right? So, but when I was born, and I hope I don't misquote my own life history, but you know, again, Ganjita, you know what I'm saying?
It's all good, man.
And I did partake before this thing, as y'all know, you know what I'm saying, off air. So anyway, when I was born, from what I recollect being told, like, okay, so I don't want to get too graphic because I know I got to be censored, but I have some pretty crazy parents, right? So I doubt either one of y'all know your conception story, do you?
I don't really want to know mine, to
Want
be
to?
completely
Yeah,
honest with
yeah,
you,
yeah,
Loki.
yeah. No, it sounds crazy to ask that question. I bet out of everything you could have thought of me asking, that wouldn't have been it, right?
Nah, not
So
really. Yeah, to be totally honest
yeah,
with you.
that I just
Now
wanted
I
to
can
use
picture
that.
it. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, yes. See, now we're gonna have a therapy
Think about
session
it.
up on this joint. Um, no, I said that to segue into I know how I was made. I'm one of the few men alive that would say that I know how I was made. A lot of people could say, "Oh, I know how my parents met." No, I know where they did the deed. I know where, you know what I mean? I know where Daddy forgot the rubber at. Like
Oh,
you know,
geez. That's where it all
you
started,
know,
man.
like
You know where it
yeah,
started,
yeah.
huh?
That's why they've always called me the gift that keeps on giving. You know, but basically, I was conceived on like you know around the Christmas time, and I was born in June, so that tells you I was preemie. You know, I was
Oh,
premature, and from what I remember being told, I was pretty much like a stillbirth or whatever. I wasn't doing good. They pretty much told my
oh.
parents to tell me goodbye. I was born at Memorial, and my dad was well, I don't want to put my dad out. My dad was not himself. He was high, and you know he threatened to throw the doctor out the window or something. And evidently they sent me over to Memorial, and then I was in like an incubator for months. And they used to celebrate my birthday every week, or I think it was every week. Yeah, it started as every week, and then it went to every month that I lived. They would have a cake for me and stuff. And
Dang.
yeah, so all that long-winded backstory to say I had to have like this surgery, and we were poor. We're still, you know, I come from poor, humble folk, you know, dirt farmers or whatever. And so they had the Shriners came through and helped pay for my surgery. It was like experimental or whatever. It was in Orlando, so we had to take a Greyhound from Bakersfield to Orlando, basically.
Oof.
And then I ended up living in Fort Myers with my grandma, who me and her ain't really get along like that. But uh, anyway, I went to school out in Florida most of the time, and then I went to when the summer would come, I would come back home, and I always wanted to stay with grandma, but they were trying to get me into physical therapy out there and stuff and whatever, and I don't know, and yeah, so that's pretty much that. I
Okay,
didn't really
Locust.
do. Oh,
Locust,
go ahead.
I have a quick question for you. So you're Caucasian, correct?
Well, yeah, so like my
Okay,
mom
hold
is
on, wait,
Native American.
wait, hold on.
Oh.
I just
Yeah,
want to say something. So Adley, Locust, by his own admission, is a Caucasian fellow. Now, Locust,
yeah.
can you please explain to me, or can you please explain to Adley, when I'm complaining about white people, you're not the kind of white people I'm
Nah,
complaining about. Can you
no,
explain this to Adley? I don't. He can't
yeah,
figure
no,
this out.
yeah, no. So you gotta look, you gotta learn to read between the lines on what words are.
Exactly. Yes.
And intent is more potent than anything else. So like when he or any of the homies is referring to white people, it's like that corny dude in the Velcro shoes with the thigh high shorts on, with the beer gut, with the shirt tucked in still, like they ain't got no shame, with the knockoff Ray Bans that they got at the swap meet, you know, and I can keep going and going. You know, when he's speaking about that's the thing. See, like technically, I'm Native American too, and I really like and tapped in with my tribe and my culture.
That's
My
sweet,
dad's
man.
Polish and my mom's Native American, and I've
Are you
been really
serious? Your
tapped
dad's
in.
Polish?
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny because you know I'm
Hold
kind
on,
of a
wait, wait, wait.
creep. That
Locust. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, And I live in the
Ooh.
Polish district. I live in Polish Hill.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Okay, see.
all my neighbors are Polish. My kids' godparents are Polish. And you
Oh,
know
that's
what?
fire.
I almost never met a Polish person I didn't like. Now I have a
Oh, that's
theory
dope.
about Polish people, Locust. You got to listen to this. Okay,
Uh,
you ready? Listen, a lot of white people, they could be racist, Adley. You understand? But Polish people, they cannot be racist. Do you understand why?
Why?
What are the most racist jokes? The most common
There
racist
used to be
jokes.
a lot
What
of
are
yeah.
they?
They used to have the Polish jokes
That's right.
oh,
everywhere.
no. They're
Yeah,
not
back in the
Polish.
day.
No.
That's
It
right.
was called.
Don't clean it up. Don't clean it up,
It's
Adlay.
Polak joke. You got
Oh,
to say
Polak. Oh,
Polak.
right.
Yeah, it's not politically incorrect. I said it. My last name is. Never mind. I was gonna finish that with a crude joke, but I'm trying to be censored here.
No, that's good. That's
You know, I went to
Hell, I'm gonna say it anyway. My last name is longer than my dick, so I can make fun of Polish people if I want to.
Locust. I went to a Polish mass last Christmas. We went to Polish mass, and it was a beautiful church in Polish Hill, you know. But man, there was all this Polish mafia in front of us, bro. Big tattoos on their neck. You knew what was going. Yeah, you knew what was going on. You just look forward. You don't. You're in the East Coast, bro. The mafia. That's kind of how things work. You just kind of pretend you don't notice. It's that type of thing.
I don't piss off nobody, man. I'm like,
That's
man,
how
I don't
I
like
am, bro.
strangers. I'm like, no, I'm cool. Stranger danger. I
All right,
I don't mess with you.
so hold on. We've got this wonderful story, your origin story of how God gave you a blessing of a life. That's wonderful. Adley actually told me he has a business plan for you. New cologne for men, wants to call it Cannabar for men. I don't know if it would work or not. Smells like weed. Then we put a picture of Locust on it and sell it to the 13-year-olds. All the Andrew
Hey,
Tate
man.
fans.
Damn, Randy said under the bus. Doop, doop. I
Now,
heard that bus hit over.
so when did you start getting into like hip hop? Like,
Yeah, so like I said, when I was doing poetry, it kind of just came. Just one day, I was like, I forget what song. Well, it was Nothing But a G Thing.
that's a great song.
That beat was just playing. I forgot. This was 98. No, yeah, 98. This was 98 at the end. It must have been around November because that's when Mom bought our first computer. Um, and that was the first beat that I found on mp3.com back in the day. SoundClick was cracking too, but mp3.com used to be where you went and got beats and stuff. And that was the first beat that I got, was that one. Because it used to take years to download a beat. 4
the
megabytes would
dial-up.
take 4 hours. Yeah, bro. Like,
Woo! Oh yeah,
I went through puberty waiting on a beat pack. I swear to God.
Then you get a corrupt file. You ever have that happen?
Yeah.
You're bootlegging something and you get the corrupt files like after like 3 seconds
Yep.
of the beat. Oh, I want to murder somebody.
Yep. It would get all cracking, and then all of a sudden, yeah, that's how they used to do you. And then they throw all that virus stuff on there, and the malware and everything else. Like,
jack your computer up.
Oh, mp3.com was an illegal site.
I don't remember if it was or not.
I don't know if they're
like
illegal.
a Kazaa
Well, no, because you gotta understand, like,
illegal.
Well,
like
really, I'm saying it's not a legit company, right?
Well, that's how all this started. My brother was really good at programming and stuff. He worked. I ain't gonna put him on blast, but he got a pretty good job. He's really computer smart. And as kids, he kind of showed me how to do programming, so HTML and all that. And he started showing me how to get stuff. Like, we're poor, we can't afford these things. So it
It's
was
an
like
FCC. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You can't be passing no fines around here.
Yeah. No. This was forever ago. Statute of limitations been up, man. All my subscriptions is paid. I'm not tripping.
That's
But
right.
back then, as a dirt poor kid, like with nothing, like if you have a desire to do something, you find a way, and that's what happened. I had no musical training. I had took as years progressed. I don't want to jump too far ahead. I took, I played the viola and I took a few MIDI classes, but they're boring. They're boring. I hate music class. I hated Photoshop class. I learned Photoshop on my own. In fact, every graphic you see me drop, I made. Yeah, I do everything myself. But but yeah, I'm stoned. I was rambling. I don't remember where I was going,
Nah,
but
that's
you
cool.
know.
I was thinking about though, because those sites I think we're talking about. You're talking about BearShare, because all the LimeWire, all the different ones.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you think about as DJs, when I came up as a DJ, there was a time between vinyl CD to like
Mm,
everything was going digital. I was like,
Yeah.
I
yep.
need this music and I need to have
Yep.
it. I can't go to the club, rock the party, and not have certain songs. And Wi-Fi
Yeah.
wasn't
What are you supposed
back
to
then
do?
too.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
got to, you need the new 50 Cent or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, I
Bro,
gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta
I
have it.
remember when Napster started their like little legit thing where like you paid a service fee and you kind of rented the music while you were paying the service fee, but you had to use their little weird MP3 player.
Oh, yep. Yep.
I was
It was
Okay.
like the
hooked
real
on that.
player.
Yeah, I was hooked on that, man. Like I love that Napster. Any song I wanted to listen to within reason. But now, like the world is yours, man. It's Nas. The world
Yeah.
is yours.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I learned to record myself and make beats without YouTube. Like I didn't have YouTube tutorials to walk me
Yeah.
through shit. So I had to like
What'd you
step by step.
what'd
Um,
you start on to make music?
oh, so I'll try to not be too long-winded about it, but
Yeah, we got time.
my my very first recording was obviously a computer mic with sound recorder on a old it was like a gateway computer. And yeah, so I didn't know anything about multi-track at this time. So then I upgraded to Cool Edit 2000, and then I got Cool Edit Pro after that. And after Cool Edit Pro, uh, there was this rapper. I was on these underground forums, and I was starting to nerd out with it. There was other rappers that were trying to do their thing, but we're all broke. So at this time, if you had a condenser mic with the interface and you were on, like you know what I mean, nobody
Yeah.
had that. Everybody had computer mics and garbage. We had dynamic mics. I remember there was people teaching you on the forums how to take your dynamic mic and plug it into your computer. You'd have to go to Radio Shack. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah,
I'm
get a
dating
Good
converter.
myself. No
adapter.
one.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. But
Yeah. DJs
yeah.
did
So
that too.
Radio Shack saved our butts
Yeah,
a few
Radio Shack is
times.
the
yeah,
DJ's
I
friend
swear,
as well.
I
Yeah.
swear it, man. Radio Shack is dearly missed. That in Circuit City, but we won't get started. You know. Yeah, you know, man. There's a few that are gone, but yeah, that's how it started. And then there was this dude on one of the forums that I was really cool with. He made really dope beats, man. His name was Woodgrain 816. I ain't never tapped in with him since. I'm sure he's out and around doing something with music because even back then he had a really nice setup and was doing it professional. But he low key like took me under his wing and he was like, "Here, I'm gonna send you a program." And he sent me Steinberg Innuendo. And for 15 years, I called it Nuendo until I heard someone say it like a couple months back. And then I was like, "Oh shit, it's innuendo." Okay, but yeah, that was my.
New
I tried to sweep. Yeah, I tried to sweep that under the rug like Parmesan. Parmesan. You say?
All right.
You
So
know?
now, when you're in high school, you're rapping when you're in high school, or you're not rapping
Yeah,
anymore?
so I was really into producing. Okay, so I started on Fruity Loops. Like, yeah, I know it's FL
Okay.
Studio now, but it was Image Line Fruity Loops. And back then, Macromedia still owned Flash. Adobe bought Flash in like, I don't know, '08 or something. Like
Yeah.
this was back then. So back then though, Fruity Loops was just a step sequencer. It wasn't a synthesizer yet. So they had like basic Wasp and whatnot, but the Citrus wasn't even out yet. I got to play around with the beta of the Citrus before it was released,
Oh wow.
and then that came up, and I just learned to play with everything as it came. Sound fonts was my friend. When I was in high school, I had all the sound fonts, all of them. I had everything. Little John's little brr brr brr. I had that. I had all the
Huh.
little cool little noises. Yeah, I had a cool set of drum kits, and I was making a bunch of beats for people and rapping, throwing demos everywhere, and trying to make something happen. I just didn't know what direction to take. Nothing. And I
Well,
dropped out of high school.
you kind of started
Um,
more as producing and making music than rapping. Did the rapping come
no,
later, or
no,
was
no.
it
The
both at the
rapping
same
was
time?
no, the rapping was during it. Like I said, I
Okay.
began rapping before I started making beats, and I was
Okay.
horrible, horrible. I didn't have a rhythm yet. I didn't understand nothing. Like, and there was no one around to like to bounce off of. I became who I had to bounce it off of. Because at this time, like all my friends thought I was kidding. They're like, "Oh no, dude, you're not going to be able to rap. No one's going to listen to that." Blah blah blah. And it wasn't just them that was hating on me. It was other kids at school, and just the only people that supported it was my parents. They was the
Oh
only
wow,
ones
that's
that
nuts.
Yeah, they bought my $10 computer mic from Walmart just so I could have something to rap on.
Good for
Little
them. God bless.
headphones.
Okay.
God bless your
Yeah,
mom and
yeah,
dad, Locust.
yeah, man. I swear that they were big supporters of mine, huge, and they were pretty much it. And then like I said, I dropped out of school, came home to my grandma, and then I met my best friend Mac, and we started the Hoodlum Squad together in like '07, and ever since then, like.
What high school were you going to? What do you? What?
I went to North out there in Florida, but I ended up dropping out. I hate school. I hate to say that too because I got a lot of fans that are teachers. I don't mean to say it that way, but I'm
It
not
wasn't for
challenged.
you.
Nah,
It wasn't
even
for you.
believe this
Okay.
or not, this is a true story too. Back in like I think it was 2012, I went and got my GED, right?
Oh, right on.
Um,
Congratulations. That's cool.
but
That's
I
cool.
didn't study a day, and I was low key still like inebriated because the test was on a Saturday, and I went out Friday night and got smashed, homie. So I drove the Nova. I had my '73 Nova. I drove it to the adult school over there on South Union, and I walked in and took my GED test without studying anything. And like I don't think the lady thought I cheated or what, but I don't know. She was like, "You're already done." Yeah, I'm done. Are you sure? I haven't seen you in any prep courses. No, man, I'm cool. And I can't believe I passed. Once I
Crushed it.
passed, yeah, I passed math by the skin of my nose. But when you
Yeah.
start converting everything to grams and ounces, it's a lot easier to do math.
Jeez.
When you start doing that, it's a lot easier.
Why'd you feel like you wanted to get your GED, or did you have to for a job, or what?
No, no, it was out of boredom, I think. I'm pretty sure because uh when I was growing up, they pounded it in our heads, that you had to have a high school diploma. And I'm not telling kids out there to drop out, but I am saying that some things aren't for some people. For me,
Yeah.
I never saw myself in a trade. Even in my earliest years as a kid, I said I was going to do music. My parents will even tell you that. I said 8, 9 years old. Before that, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I like the WWF and all that. Mankind and Undertaker's still my G, Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Oh
Um,
yeah, remember
but
those?
but the reality of me doing that's slim to none. So, music became what it was. And but I never wanted to have like a career. I couldn't think of living in a cubicle and then, all the extra stuff with math that they were trying to teach me. I was like, this isn't useful to me. I mean,
Mm.
years later in life, it is because when you start messing around with sound, you have to understand a little bit of math because you're doing math without even realizing it. You have to
Huh.
subtract frequencies. You know what I mean? You have to take room out, add room, add depth, reverb. You have to think about these things. You know what I mean? And it becomes
Yeah.
mathematical, you know? And
Okay.
That's super
Okay.
dope, man.
We gotta dig into the Hoodlum Squad.
yeah, that's the
What
homies, man.
is that? You guys got music out and everything from back then?
You could probably, yeah, there's some songs out on like YouTube that aren't mixed and mastered because back then I didn't know what I was doing still. Like I was still experimenting with how everything worked. And YouTube didn't really take precedence for tutorials till like 10 years ago. It wasn't really that long ago, so tutorials were kind of scarce when it came to the stuff that I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man, like
Mr.
I
Moreno.
just experimented and I learned a lot, just playing with sounds and I spent hours, dude, like hours doing it. Like,
Well, I think if Locust is teaching us one thing, it's that kids shouldn't finish high school. And I agree with you, sir. F that, dude.
well,
That's for dum dums.
well, nah, but what
Locust,
I am saying is
I dropped out
I
of high school and I got my GED. And when me and
uh,
Adley were in radio, we used to have to go
uh,
talk to schools. And so, like, we go talk to schools and they'd be like, so where'd you go to college? And I'm like, I dropped out of high school. And the kids would be like, what? And the teachers would be like,
yeah,
well, you have to
yeah,
explain to them. I'm like, yeah, and now I'm famous. I'm talking at your class. I'm about to sign
yeah,
some autographs after this. Then I'm gonna go
yeah,
eat lunch with Jay-Z's record rep. Doesn't that sound
yeah.
fun,
Whoop
kids?
whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not. Look, man, you don't have talent is only part of something, right? Knowing how to do something is half the
The
battle. If you
grind,
don't
the
have any
grind.
determination, yeah, you
You
gotta
gotta
have heart.
grind.
You gotta have heart. You gotta go for it. Like a lot of people told me that, oh, music's not gonna work. This, that, and the third. Like I'm not famous or nothing yet, but I mean, I got a cool following. I love my followers, but
Yeah.
you know, I I've come a long way from where people thought I wouldn't wind up. And like I've been around some really fun activities. It's like, damn, if it wasn't for music, I wouldn't be sitting here, you know? So it's like, what is making it? It's up to you. What's your perception of making it? You know, I just love music. I'm gonna keep dropping music. I'm gonna keep doing what I do until, you know, God calls me home. That's all
Right,
we can
right.
do.
So, Lucas, you're a Tech Nine fan?
Yeah.
Do you like
Especially like,
Dax and Tom McDonald and those guys?
yeah, they're dope as hell.
Yeah, I'm really getting more into Tom McDonald as the times are going by. And then
Yeah,
dude, he's been dropping some bombs lately. I don't know if you
you know
saw
what's
that
crazy
one.
about him?
What's that?
Not to hate, not about his music, but what's so crazy about him is if you look at his pool and what he does, like his records they top charts, and
And
people
he's
hate him.
100% independent.
Oh yeah, he
Yes,
produces everything himself.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just a bigger scale version of me. Like he's really doing it, you know. And yeah,
He has a lot of good people around him though.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
and that's
yeah,
the thing nowadays too. You don't need the labels as much as you used to. You
No,
know what I mean?
but
You
bro,
can blow up on your own.
they won't give this dude his props though, Adley. Like
So it just won't happen.
he beat Eminem like in the Billboard charts. Billboard wouldn't
yeah,
acknowledge it.
yeah,
Yeah, he beat
Oh wow.
Mariah Carey. Like, dude, this dude just
yeah.
burns everybody, and Billboard will not acknowledge it.
Yeah, but you know, the sad thing is you just gotta understand the way everything is set up. You know, like Ariston at the top, man. You know, not everybody's supposed to be at the top, and that there's a hierarchy system with everything. You know, that's why I kind of just float in the underground because, like, you know, I've never really been the popular candidate. You know, I don't dress with name brand clothing. I don't. I'm not lying in my music like, oh, I'm out here killing people or I'm out here doing this and that. No, man, that is not the that is if I drop dead right now, hopefully not on live, I will go viral finally if I did. But yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
hold on,
you
Locust.
know,
Mellow Man Ace was on the show, and he said the exact same thing. Like
honestly, yeah.
he was like,
But
he was outside of his car. He's like, "Oh man, these cops might be beating me right now." He's like, "Oh, maybe they'll beat me to death, then I'll go viral." I was like,
yeah,
"I wouldn't
yeah,
want that
man.
to
Right, you
happen."
did say that.
No, me neither. But you know, the thing is like at any moment we could all expire. You know, tomorrow's not promised. 10 minutes from now is not promised to us. So if the music I'm working on right now is my last project and I get clipped for whatever reason, that's the end of my life expectancy. I'm done, right? Do I want to leave a project behind that wasn't my authentic me? Do I really want to do that? Isn't every project that artist drops supposed to be some kind of reflection, even if not directly, of what they were? That's the whole reason of making art. So I have a problem with like, you know, with like just lying on records or doing, you know, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try to destroy nobody. Is my music for like church and all? No, I'm definitely not. I love cuss words.
I
I
think
love weed. I love women. You know what can I say?
I
You
think
know what I mean?
what Locust is telling us, Adley, is that he's gonna fake his own death like Tupac and then change his name and put out more records
No,
so that he
I
can
think what I would
blow up.
do.
Was that
I think I think more realistically for me, I would do a Bobby Fischer, man. Yeah, y'all know who Bobby Fischer is.
the chess
You know?
player?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You ever seen the movie
Uh-uh.
Searching for Bobby Fischer?
Mm-mm.
He went missing for like 20 some years. They thought he was dead, and I forget where they found, bro. He was in like Colombia or somewhere like that. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Everyone thought he was dead for years. He disappeared. He just stopped doing things. You know.
Really? He just did
Yeah.
like his own choice. I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, you think about something. When you become, especially back then, so there was no internet. It's even worse now. Can you imagine what it's like to really be Drake? Everyone talks about how rich Drake is and how much he has. But could you imagine really being Drake? Stop and pause and ponder that thought for a moment. You know what I mean? You can't have a booger on your face when someone takes a picture.
I
You can't have
know.
Everything's
some
got to be perfect all the
All the
time.
time.
you better not eat no Taco Bell late night and have no doo-doo stains in the morning because if someone find out, TMZ will buy that joint for 100 racks.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
dude.
saying? Like,
Yeah, like you can't cut a fart. You can't cut
yeah,
a fart. Like think about it,
you
bro. You know
can't.
when you're walking in a building and you stop and cut a fart like that before you walk in the
Bro,
building, you stick it out a
bro,
little
I'm
bit.
thinking about farting right now. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
You
it's
just
just,
ripped one
but
10 seconds ago.
yeah, but you know, but if I do, like, I'm not. It's whatever. I'm just
yeah.
Lokust Luciano, man. You know, your favorite rapper's favorite cripple rapper, man. I ain't nobody special. But
Wait,
imagine,
hold on.
imagine.
Where'd the name come from, Locust?
Okay, so okay, so I went to Sunshine Church, which is here in Oildale. It's actually down the street from where I live. You know what I mean? That was the church that my grandma took me to. They prayed over my legs and all that several times, and God bless those people, man. Um, but my grandma, her apartments are catty cornered from Locust Street, so part of that came from that, right?
Okay.
So I just changed the C to a K to be different. And it was just Locust for the longest time, and then around. I want to say like the end of 2015, I decided to add the Luciano because at this time I'd amassed a bunch of like cool friends and connections, but I thought about something. I was like, holy shit, due to politics, I could never throw a party and invite all my friends together because they don't like each other because of where their mamas paid rent at. So I realized like I have friends from everywhere. You know what I mean? And Lucky Luciano, he fucking unified. Excuse me for my language, but he unified organized crime. So I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I just
Ah.
kind of thought of it in the same way. Like I'm unifying people that don't get along. Like I do a lot of stuff with music behind the scenes, and I try to help people and bridge the gap. You know, and make some plays for people and
So,
that's what I try to do.
so
Yeah.
Locust, what I got from
Locust,
that
okay.
story, Adley, was Oildale really is a crappy part of town, and
Yeah,
Locust
but I
is
love
not
my own.
lying to us about growing up poor. Am I am
Oh
I
no,
am I following correct, Adley?
nah, dude, I'm gonna get flamed
Yeah.
when I go to the corner store later for saying this, but you know, you'll be
I,
lucky. Yeah, it's normal to be 108 outside in a Bakersfield summer and see a girl in Oildale blacked out walking down the street with no shoes. Normal, normal,
yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
normal.
We lived on Linda Vista. Right behind the
Mm.
park there, right down the street from the park for a little bit. But we did, I felt like I fit in, man. It was great. You could walk around in cut off jeans and no shirt, and
that
you know
should
what I
be a
mean. It was
sign of
chill,
your
whatever.
that should be a
But
sign, Adley, that you need to upgrade your fashion.
but
Locust,
it was comfortable living.
Locust.
But yeah, a lot of tweakers, a
I went
lot
to
of
go
tweakers.
visit
Yeah.
Adelaide one time, and I was
Uh,
going up to Bakersfield, right? I'm in California, weed's legal. In Pittsburgh, it wasn't yet. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stop at a spot. And so it sends me to Oildale, right? I go to Oildale,
uh-oh.
bro. I'd never seen a homeless Indian person before in my whole life, bro, except for Oildale. Like I'm seeing this, I'm like,
Oh,
bro, you're supposed to be a dentist. You're not supposed to be homeless. Dude's coming, he's like trying to hang out with me. I'm like, what would make you think I want to hang out with you, dude?
oh wow.
Was that
Oh my
was that on Chester? Do you remember? I don't know if you remember or not,
I'm
man.
not
God.
gonna I'm not gonna know if I
Probably
remember
North
the
Union.
street.
Chester, North
Yeah.
Chester, Union, yeah, out that way. Roberts Lane, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh
But
yeah.
anyway, so then I go
Oh,
see Adley, and I was like, I said, man, I was just over in this weird part of town because I was gonna buy some pot. And he goes, you're using drugs? And I go, look, I wouldn't say I'm using drugs. I'd say that marijuana is legal in your state and not in mine, and I would like to buy some gummies. He was
what's the difference from buying something from a florist and buying some weed? Man, you just bought something from a florist. That's all. That's just some flowers. That's
I
all.
I actually did
Nothing
try
wrong
to
with
buy.
that.
I didn't get to buy anything because I went. So I
Mm,
go and it's like in the middle of the hood. It looked like it was a auto mechanic shop, and there was just
I
like a
know
big
you're right.
like a vinyl banner. It said like 420 or something. So I'm like, all right. So I parked the rental car across the street. I walk in, and homeboy behind the counter looked like 50. I was like, oh man, they already got busted. I'm like, I was like, I don't have nothing to do with this, bro. Like, I didn't even know this place existed. I thought my car was getting worked on. And then I figured it out. No, he was a security guy. So, but dude,
Yeah.
he was he looked like a real policeman.
Like a
He's like,
federale.
yeah. So he's like, let me see your ID. So I was like, okay. So I'm giving my ID like I'm busted. You know, I'm like, all right, man, like just doing the routine. As soon as I noticed that he's not a real cop, I was like, hey man, give me my ID back.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't squat and cough for the guy, did you?
No,
Like, you
no, but
know
like
what I
it
mean?
took me a second because his thing, like he looked official. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what am I walking into? But then homeboy was like, he was like, well, it's gonna take half hour because we're having a shift change. And I'm like, man, I didn't get the insurance on my rental car, bro. And I know
Hey
I'm not
man,
supposed to, it's not supposed to be parked
hey,
there right now.
hey, bro. Next time you come to Bakersfield and you're looking for ganjita, man, just let me know, man. I got you. You don't have to wait no 30 minutes for nothing. I got
Well, I didn't end up getting nothing. I ended up going to see Adelaide. And then
you.
Adelaide was like, what are you doing? I'm like,
All
bro,
sober.
Hey,
Michael's all sober. And
yeah, man.
he's like,
You can't visit my place in sobriety. Next time you come out, I'm getting you
what up,
stoned, man.
Marcus?
I got you.
Dude, I'll tell you right now. So it's not like I'm a marijuana using person, but it was, I'm in
I am.
California, it's legal. I wanted to eat a couple gummies and chill out. That was my
I got
plan.
weed on my head.
But then I end up in Oildale getting harassed by this Indian guy, and then by this 2.5, I'm like, dude, I can't do this, man. I cannot do this. I was like, this is not
Oh
worth
my
it.
god.
I was like, I'm finished with this. My experiment is over. Yeah, so I go see Adelaide. Adelaide's like, I got some beers at the house. I'm like, I'm not looking to get inebriated, but yeah, well, God bless Oildale, bro.
Hey
Locust,
man, brain cells.
did you ever do the shows like at the dispensaries or anything?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times. Shout out to my homies from Highway 99, man.
Highway
Yeah, I did a
99.
bunch of. Yeah, man, that's my peoples right there. J Bone, the whole clique.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
you know.
Who'd you perform with over there?
Oh man, dude, I've been blessed to I've been able to do some cool stuff. One of the coolest things I ever did. Oh, there's a couple things actually, but I rapped one time when Corrupt was there, and
Oh
then we kind
wow.
of like rapped together. Yeah, and
Bro,
that's how I met
Elfo
Corrupt.
told us a story about not Corrupt, but
Big Al.
what up, Big Al? He told us a story about not Corrupt, about Exhibit. Like you guys all meet the cool guys, dude.
Yeah, yeah, Exhibit's dope. I met him there. I've seen Exhibit a gang of times. I met Tommy Chong because of J Bone them at 99. I
I
met
met
a couple
Tommy
of cool
Chong,
people.
but that was when we were in radio. So like you meet a lot of cool people, but it kind of I don't know, does it count if you're in radio, Adelaide? What do you think? Versus if
I
you're
think it
just
counts.
a regular person? Because I feel like if you're a regular person, they're nice to you because they want to be nice to you. When you're in radio, you know why they're nice to you. You know what I mean?
They want you to play their records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Politics are
okay.
real.
Yeah. Is Highway 99 working on some new shows coming up or anything?
Nah, right now the way Kern County's set up, man, they're God, I
Not
gotta censor
picky.
myself. Yeah, there we go. They're not very friendly for cannabis. Apparently, our votes don't matter when it comes to this
Oh,
city. You know.
you guys are in a real
Uh,
Republican area. That's
Yeah,
probably why
they
you have
just.
to go to Oildale to get some ganji around there.
Yeah, man. They, but hey, man, God bless my home. They do what they do. I ain't no politician. That's not a job for me. You know. Uh,
yeah, but
uh,
okay. Well, that's cool. I was wondering about that too, because I know that they used to do like a lot of big shows, have some big artists come through, Be Real and
yeah,
whatnot and everything.
we
And
had a lot of cool stuff
yeah,
happen there. Yeah, man. Jay really did a lot of stuff for the community. There was a lot of people that would come. They were always fun. Like, but anything that's fun out here, they ain't having it. City was
yeah.
like, nah, we can't have this. We'd rather y'all drink. Yeah,
Hey, and,
they'd
and
rather us be drunk.
talking about that stuff too, and watching some of your videos,
Mm,
like I feel like you're pretty much an open book on there on a lot of that music and some of those videos and stuff too, because it looks
yeah.
like you're partaking. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's pretty
Well,
cool to
what's
see. Just
crazy
hey,
is, what's crazy is now I'm coming up on 2 years sober from drinking alcohol.
Good for
I
you.
congrats, man!
thanks,
Congratulations.
man. I've been kind of quiet about it because everyone has substance abuse issues. I don't care who you are,
Mm,
coffee or whatever. They're there. We all have our things. For me, I just got tired of doing shows and getting smashed, underperforming or what I thought was underperforming
Yeah,
and
yeah.
feeling like
You're under
garbage the
you're
next day.
definitely underperforming and feeling like garbage the next day. Trust me. Like
Yep.
yeah.
we did shows, and if you do the shows clean, like Adelaide's no good with the puff puff, so you can't get him on that. But if you do the shows clean, then you know what you're doing and you're
Right.
methodical.
Yeah. You know what's weird though, too,
Mm,
being a DJ, like rocking the party, I felt like I had to
yeah.
drink. Like that's kind of gave me my confidence a little bit. Or I like a
Mhm.
lot, but I think when Mike met me, I'd kind of got to that point where I was like, you know what, I'm not drinking while I DJ because yeah, I feel you know what, you think you do good when you're drunk and wasted, like wow, but you look back and you're like, man, my
I like to
mixes
give
were
people their
off or
money's worth
whatever.
too, to be
Yeah,
around.
Right.
I
Like
was
people
not
pay to
good.
see
Well,
you.
Yeah.
Well, what really kicked it off for me was like I had did a string of shows in 2018 and 2019 too, and there was a couple of people that were regulars at the shows, but they were mad at me because I didn't remember them. You don't remember me, bro? I was at the
Oh
Yeah, I can
man.
see
and,
that. Yeah.
and I do meet a lot of people, so it is hard to
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
man. My brain's only got so much hard drive storage. You know what I'm saying?
We
Yeah.
call it
So
radio brain.
yeah, well, but I really felt bad because like I'm like, damn, every time they saw me, I was smashed, and I'm not
Oh.
like one of those like angry drunks or nothing, but it's like we were cool and they had a good time eating me, and then I don't even remember the transaction. So the next time around, it's like, oh hey, nice to meet you. No man, I met you at this. It's like I'm
Oh, you
sorry,
might
dude.
have straight kicked it with them too, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
like
I mean?
so and then so I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't want to do that no more. So I kind of just quietly just like, when I go out to places and everyone's drinking, if they doing that, I'll drink me some ginger ale or something. Once in a while, I'll have a beer socially if I'm at an event or if there's a reason for it. It's some kind of like business thing and they want
Dude,
to
could you
close it
imagine
with a
that
drunk.
though? That you're
Mhm.
Mm.
you're Locust's fan, and Locust is still in his drinking years, right? And you're hanging out with him, and he had like 3, 4 pops.
And
So
you're
you're getting
buying him
friendly.
beers,
Yeah, that's true, huh? You're buying him beers.
Yeah,
having
that
fun
too,
at him a few
I didn't think
rounds.
about that. Yeah, I
like
didn't think
like
about
you're
that.
buying me all this booze, so I'm getting super wrecked. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Bought
All
some
the
of your
booze is
merch,
flowing to my good leg.
but
bought your t-shirt and everything.
yeah, look, I'm wearing
Yeah.
your T-shirt, Locust. But anyways, yeah.
You are
But
Damn, savage.
I guarantee you, this is how it went down, right? Like it's getting to be 12:30 ish. Locust is throwing down 3, 4 drinks. What's good, homie?
What's up,
Um.
Panama?
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah. What up, Panama?
Locust throwing down 3, 4 drinks. Then he starts loosening up and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to tell you a secret I never told anybody before." But the problem is, by the end of the night, Locust is so blacked out he doesn't remember he told the guy anything. Just
Yep,
meets the guy, and like by the end of the night, I can just about
that
guarantee.
was me.
I
That
can
was me, bro.
just about
That was me.
guarantee
I would,
at the end of the
I
night
would
you were
get
like,
drunk and be,
"We're homies. We're homies forever." No,
yep,
you, me. We're home.
yep.
Look, you're like my
God
own
knows.
brother. Like I guarantee you were like that when you were
Yep.
faded.
And then the next thing you know, they come see me and I don't remember them at
Oh,
all.
that's
I'm like,
so
oh, I'm
bad.
sorry, Jack. My
Oh
bad.
no.
My name is Steve. I'm like, oh, my bad, homie. That's why everybody's homie. Makes it easier for me.
Oh, that is
What up, homies?
horrible.
Were
Yeah.
they like disappointed that you didn't remember them?
Nah, nah, they understood because I'm a jackass. So like they're not, they if they follow me and listen to my music, they know I'm the, I mean well, I'm just stupid. That's why, it is what it is. You know.
I did that to Ice Cube the second time I met him. You don't remember me, bro?
Wow.
We took a picture.
No, you didn't
You want
do
to
that.
my
Wow.
CD?
He wouldn't do it.
I
I
did
was
get
like,
yelled
don't
at
do
by
that
a
to
security
Q.
guard, though. I did get yelled at by
Oh, no.
his security's like, "What are you yelling?" I was
Locust,
like,
you want to know how bad Adley is though in real life? So
Mm,
one time he was doing a radio event, and this lady came up to him and she was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like,
uh,
"Oh, hi, how's it going?" She's like, "You don't remember me?" And he was like, "I'm trying to place you." It was his physical therapist that
"Oh yeah."
that had reconstructed him after he had his car accident. He didn't know who
womp,
she was,
womp,
dude.
womp.
I was like, in my
Mm,
mind, I'm thinking like, oh, one of my fans, she probably wants an autograph or something, you know. And then, yeah, I remember
there
when
you
you were like
go.
laid out with a busted knee. I was the one that I do remember that now, but oh, that was
Yeah,
so
and then
embarrassing, so
she
embarrassing.
put you on. Oh, that's crazy.
But
Oh,
there are people that get mad when you don't remember them, though. And
yeah.
like
Oh
Oh, some
yeah.
people do take it
Oh yeah.
personal.
when you do meet that many people, it's hard to remember people. And I didn't even have like the blackout, you're my homeboy nights. Like I just had the regular, like, yo, what's up, man? Oh, word, I like your sneakers, like that type of stuff. Bro, I
Yeah.
own 2 vape shops now, and I get it. Do the other day I was at my shop, right? And just from like
Uh,
TikTok and stupid crap we put up, this guy came in and he's like, "Hey man, me and my girl, we shop here all the time. Do you recognize me?" And I was like, "Oh man,
uh,
I got a
yeah,
lot of
I only get 10 customers a week, so sure.
yeah." I was like,
You know.
I said, "Well, I got a lot of customers, man." He goes, "Oh no, 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 but we shop here all the time. Maybe if you saw my girl." And I was like, "I mean, Possibly, but you know, I
Probably
mean,
more often than you. I would probably remember your girl before I remember you.
so, so
You can't tell them that though.
no, no, trust me. The girls that come to my shop, you ain't gonna be remembering the way that you think you're gonna be
uh,
remembering. So,
uh,
so, so it's, you know, it's
sad
like,
life.
so I'm like, all right, you
Womp
know,
womp.
I'm trying to explain. I'm like, well, you know, I get a lot of customers. Dude, he goes for round 3, bro. And finally, I was like, can you just buy something? That's what I said, dude. He got mad. He told Gavin I was rude to him. I wasn't rude to him. I told him 2 times. I don't know who you are. And that's from being a vape shop guy. Now imagine when we were DJs in the 90s. There's no internet. There's no, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? There's no YouTube famous. We were the YouTube famous. Like, bro, people bothered you all the time. And they were always mad at you that you
yeah,
weren't
because
their
you didn't.
best friend.
Like my daughter's birthday was last week. You didn't send a card. Who the fuck?
Yeah.
I caught that one. I caught
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
I
that's crazy. That is
because
true.
how embarrassing would that be, Adelaide? Like, because I guarantee the story I just made up about Locust is exactly how it went down. Where
Yeah, dude, I would get so wasted, bro. There's been times. Oh my god, like
would
I
you end
don't.
up at
There's
people's
shows.
houses?
What happened?
Would you end up at people's houses, like
Nah, I
showing
haven't.
them?
Nah, nah, nah. I don't like people that much. I don't. I'm one of those kinds of. Hey, man, I'm one of those friends where like
Yeah,
I probably won't go in your house. We'll smoke outside and kick it. You know, I'm one of those porch. I like sitting outside.
I
I don't.
got you.
I like sitting on the porch. I like sitting on the little tables outside under the tree. I'm not really a sit indoors kind of dude. That's just kind of where I'm at with that. I would probably get drunk and yeah, that would be it. I would just not remember doing shows. Like that
Oh,
that would be what happens. I would get drunk and then like my homie took me home and I ended up here and I'm like, hey, how did everything go last night? And you see the footage and it's like, oh, I did a great job, but boy, I had like 5 shots, 2 Zeus's, and God knows what else after that. So, you know.
dang.
What's the longest tour you've been on, Locust?
Consecutively, the longest tour I've been on was the first one I did. It was the only big tour that I've done was the Lit tour. It was in 2016 with T Davis. And that one kind of changed everything for me. It kind of put everything more on a serious ride. And then shortly after I did that tour, I made this song called "Minding My Business," and I don't know, it changed everything for me. It really did. That one song changed everything for me. It didn't go like viral, but it went like state viral, like local viral, I guess you could say, because it did a big thing here in Bakersfield, and then it just started going up north, and I started getting more connections in LA and different stuff. and
It's really
it's
interesting.
crazy.
It's interesting to me how the Bakersfield community really supports the Bakersfield artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can be a rock star in Bakersfield. It's almost the only town left that like actually is a town. All the rest of us are just connected to the internet and living in a place. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
just sustaining in a spot.
yeah, exactly. Man,
Yeah.
man, these are some dope stories. I'm enjoying every one of them. How about you, Adley?
Yeah, and I was even gonna ask you too on those tracks and stuff. You're doing the beats, you're doing the rapping, and
Yeah,
then you're doing the video too, or you got someone bringing in somebody to
no,
cut the
so
video.
I did learn over the years how to utilize like After Effects and etc. Like but it's very very tedious and
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. I guess I like special effects. Like I've done a lot of like in private I do a lot with like Maya Cinema and like different things like Blender and I start experimenting with different things, especially with AI the way it is right now too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been
Yep.
uh
I
I've
agree.
been playing around with a lot of crap in the background, just seeing what happens. Just being a tinkerer, man. That's what I do. I just find something new and I start messing with it. That's how it all started with the FL Studio back in the day. You
Well,
know?
if you're creative and you can already like imagine what things are supposed to look like in your head, the way the AI is moving now is really changing the game for everybody because you can do
Hmm.
everything on such a small budget and it looks so big. Because
It
what would
does.
take you hours will take you seconds.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just like and not to knock Photoshop. Don't want to piss off a potential sponsor someday. But
Right.
uh, but think about Photoshop. I don't know if either one of y'all know anything about graphic work, but layering and putting things together, different effects and stuff, it takes time, and it's very tedious. It used to take me, if I had a show coming up, me and T were doing a show at Club 21, it would take me an hour to make a flyer. I'd be there for an hour just, and then, and I'm such a perfectionist, I beat myself over the head,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to, just for a flyer.
For a
Whereas
flyer, yeah.
now, yeah, now if there's a show coming up and no one did the flyer, you could download Canva for 9.99 a month, and you could just make flyers, put your little picture there, and you
Yeah,
know what I mean. Throw it.
we use Canva for our thumbnails, and we use the free
Mm.
version. Like
Yeah,
you don't even,
you can do that.
and there's
Yeah,
a lot of good stuff on the free version of
yeah,
Canva. Like
yeah.
I only use, so there's only a couple editors that I pay for, but man, there's a
Mm.
lot of good free AI on the internet right now.
Oh yeah.
It-
Oh,
the,
ridiculous.
the world
Yeah.
is yours if you're an artist. I'll say this. If you're telling me that you want to be an artist and you're not making art, it's really your fault at this point.
Bro, I have cerebral palsy. I should have probably opened with that, huh? I
Oh
didn't even
yeah.
say that. So
Oh
50
wow.
minutes in, there now everybody knows this is why I walk so funny. But that's why I had to go to Florida for surgery. Damn, I skipped that whole chapter, huh?
Oh,
But
oh,
you know,
okay. Yeah.
like I wasn't even supposed to get out of a wheelchair, man. So it's like, I did, but it was all God, first of all, but it's also determination. Like
Yeah.
talent doesn't mean anything. How bad do you want something? People say they want something all the time. I want to be rich. Well, what is rich? What do you consider rich? What I consider rich? Being able to go into Winco right now and buying whatever I'm hungry for, not what I can afford to eat, what I'm hungry for. That's a difference. That's different. Being able to buy whatever you're hungry for. That's living like a king. You could
Yeah.
feast right now if you feel like it. 6.51 at night where I'm at. I can go get a rotisserie chicken for, $16. That's rich to me to be able to
Yeah.
just go and spend money just on whatever you want to eat, not what you can afford to eat. You know, like I eat, but I got to eat within a budget. I'll
Yeah.
know I'm rich. I'll know when I'm successful when I could walk into a grocery store and fill my cart with all the things I just want to eat. Like, that's
Yeah.
different. That
You got to
I
get
don't
a
know.
grocery sponsor. What's that
Nah,
grocery? What's that grocery
nah,
Winco,
store?
Winco, you gotta get.
nah. It's not about not having the money. So I could spend money on all the foods I want to try. I've never eaten filet mignon before, or there's things I've never eaten that it's not that I can't afford it right now. I'm not balling at all, but why would I spend that money right now when I can invest that change instead of eating a fancy meal that's not really going to fill me up? I can eat within my means and take the rest of that bread and diversify it, put it towards something more important that's going to bring back more money
No,
or put me in a better position.
that's how I feel. But if you got a sponsor, then they'd hook up the food for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Filet
saying?
mignon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you get the sponsor, because then
All right, that's what.
you got to get in the cheddar, and they'll kick down some groceries just for
Yeah,
free. You
man.
know what I mean? That's
I'm down. I'm down with that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? No, but to me, from my simple definition, that's what rich is. So another person, a rich person, is somebody in a Ferrari. But
Yeah.
rich is one thing. Wealthy is another thing. You know,
Mm.
wealthy is another thing. I would rather be wealthy. Because rich, you just got this money, but you don't know what to do with it. Wealthy, you've diversified your income and you've showed other people how to do that. So now you got a whole tribe of people that are eating well. That's how all the powerful people of the world got power. They didn't
Wealthy,
just get given power; they
wealthy's
went and got it.
difficult. Yeah, but wealthy's difficult, Locust. Like, so I'm working on wealthy right now because I got two shops, and
Mm,
the boys that work for me,
mm,
they all make union wages, bro. Working at a vape shop, I make sure the
right.
boys are taken care of. I make sure that their wives have a new
Good
person.
man.
That's
Good
what I tell
man.
them. It's what you're supposed to do,
Shit,
though.
are you
Especially,
hiring? Shit, I'll move. What's
I
up?
mean,
No,
you don't want to work for me, bro.
no, I'm
It's
just
not
playing.
as easy as it sounds.
Nah, I'm an asshole employee. I'll be honest. I'm a very big perfectionist, and given how I look physically when I walk around, I already know when I walk into a spot if I have to do a job somewhere, even music. When I go do shows, people if they've never seen me before, they judge me. You can see it on their face. I notice it, but I don't really acknowledge it. There's a difference. You can notice something and not acknowledge it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's usually the way it is at jobs too. Anywhere I go, like if people don't know me yet. I'm intimidating because they don't know if I'm going to slow them down or if I'm going to whip them in shape, and it's usually the latter. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Nice.
here to make money. I'm here to do a job. Like I like having a good time. I like fun and da 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 da. But if there's areas of opportunity to make a business more money, let's do that shit. Let's.
Yeah.
Everything else
Yeah,
is out the window.
that's the tough part when you're building your squad. So all my boys, I pick up the tough kids, because
Yeah, yeah,
that's how I grew up. My boys don't have high school diplomas, but I try to make sure that they're taken care of so their wives. The saying is, if your wife doesn't have a new purse, then we're gonna have a problem here. Do we understand each other? And if I give
yeah,
them a
yeah,
bonus and I say, hey, this is your bonus, but remember, Lisa needs a new purse, something to that effect. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
Um,
feel you. I
but that
respect that.
that being said, it's because I want the boys to always remember, okay, Mike loves me, but he loves my wife more than he loves me. Not in a romantic way, but in a fatherly way. Because I look at
Mm.
the boys, I don't look at them like I'm their dad, but I am old enough to be their dad. But for me, I want to give opportunity. And so it's not about balling, it's not about building like I like building community because then you have, you have your
Yeah, yeah,
kind of like you got a guy who knows a guy who is a good accountant, you have a guy who knows a guy who's a good mechanic. Like that's what I like about community. But I don't really care about like becoming a Rockefeller or something silly like that. I don't care about money like that. You know what I mean? I don't care about money like that, bro.
yeah.
Like when me and Adley were young, I was like that, where it was like if I could just eat at Applebee's. And then when I had Applebee's money, I was like, okay, I got Applebee's money. I'm Applebee's rich. Like I could understand that. And
Yeah.
then yeah, you know what I mean? And then when I got the businesses, I was like, okay, now I'm business rich. Like it's weird, bro, when you start climbing up because like
Mhm. Well,
you
and
just
the getting it is easy. Keeping it is hard, you know? Like my house.
Uh,
I own my crib. I'm one of the few people I know, God, thank God. God put me in the position to have the drive to go out and go get the bag. But when I was young, when I was like 19, 20, I was like, huh, you know what? I'm in California. It's gonna get expensive eventually.
yeah.
Maybe instead of paying, you know, three ways on rent with my homies back then, why not? And this is '08, '09, right, you know?
oh
Like,
wow,
why
that
not
was
go
like
out and get a
kind
house?
of at the peak,
Was it
or
at the bottom of
yeah.
the dump? Was it at the bottom of the dump or the top of the peak?
I don't know, man. It was more. I don't even know.
Oh, he
It's
probably
more
didn't
like
understand like what was going on, Adley, because of the
nah,
recession or
nah.
whatnot.
I missed that. That went over my head. Saying, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Yeah.
so
I am short though. You know.
during that time frame, there was a real high point of housing sales, but
Oh yeah,
2009 was the crash. The bottom
it
of
Oh, you
was.
must
the
have got in.
crash was
Yeah. Okay.
So
2009.
Okay.
I bought my house in 2011. Um,
Oh wow, that's nice. So
Okay.
on the
Okay.
recovery,
yeah, yeah, and it was a cool thing. But what I did was I put all my bread away. Like I worked hard and like worked all the overtime shifts I could get, and like I stacked money for years. So when I'm 21 and all my friends are going out partying, I'm just staying home. You know what I mean? I'm
hmm
just staying home. I'm eating ramen noodles and shit. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should come party." Nah, man, I'm gonna buy something. I didn't want to rent. I didn't want to struggle. And like, there was always homelessness here. It's as long
Yeah.
as I could remember. Especially where I live at. But not like this. Not like this.
Hey,
Yeah.
This is on a whole other level.
what's up with your governor, man? I've never seen so
Mm,
many homeless people in my whole life.
A lot.
And let me tell you a story. This is a true story, Locust. So I got a homeboy up here called Brando. Good, nice, good, hardworking young man. He's my number two in the company. He
all
never
right.
been out of Pittsburgh before. So
Oh, okay. Oh, my homie Jay Spools is from Pittsburgh, by the way. Shout out Jay Spools if he's
He's
watching shit.
dope too.
so
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's my
anyway,
dog.
so my father, he had passed,
Put him on.
and I grew up in West Covina. So I had to fly back to LA and then drive my car back, right? So I said, all right, Brando, come with me, because he'd never been out of Pittsburgh. So I said, I want you to see the country with me. We'll drive across it together. So we flew out to LA together, and we go scoop up the car. Dude, we're on Sepulveda Boulevard, downtown Los
Mm,
Angeles. There's a
yep.
lady, a homeless lady standing there. She starts sliding back and forth, back and forth. Brandon looks at me and says, what's that lady doing? I said, you think I know what that lady's doing? She pulled her pants down and was rubbing the crack of her butt on the sidewalk right in front of us, right in front of God and everybody. I was like,
Woo.
Oh,
"Th-
jeez.
this, there is a special breed of homelessness that you guys have in that
Yeah.
state that
I was gonna
like
say, man, welcome to the West Coast. I'm sorry, you know.
what is going on, man? It wasn't like that when we were kids.
I don't remember it being like that, but yeah, it's crazy now. Crazy.
I don't
Yeah.
really know what happened. All I know is this: like, it ain't getting no better. It's getting a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
you know, I do what I can for my homeless community in private. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that ever talks about kind acts because I don't believe if you do something nice for somebody, you shouldn't televise it because then you're only doing it for leverage. You're
Yeah,
not doing it because it was a
Mhm.
good thing. I like doing good deeds in private because it feels good.
yeah.
Some things are between you and God, and but
Right.
it's getting worse out here. I don't know. I didn't vote for Gavin Newsom, but again, I try not to get political. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This
Man,
state
that
is
Gavin
getting.
Newsom, bro, he looks like he worships the devil, bro. You look at that Gavin Newsom, he looks like the bad guy in Harry Potter,
Oof,
dude. That
that's crazy.
I'm like, dude, I can't, I don't. And you know what? This is the problem with the amount of homelessness you guys have in that state is that it's conditioning you to view human beings as others.
Yeah, and it's difficult for me to deal with it too. I agree with that because I do. I'll go places where people are in random stores or whatever, and you'll overhear people talking about the homeless dude.
Oh, Lucas
Oh no, I hope
froze.
we didn't lose him. I had more questions. Uh-oh. I wonder if his phone died or something. Newsom, future president. You might
Baby
not be
George, do you like
wrong.
this dude? You like this
I
dude?
don't know,
Baby
man.
George?
If
Baby
yeah,
George says
did we
that's
lose
the
you?
future president,
Oh, yes.
Locust.
Yeah, there we go. Can y'all see me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What, did your phone die? Or did you get a call?
No, I did. It just said bad connection or something, so I turned my Wi-Fi off real quick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with my
Going
Wi-Fi.
on that 5G.
Yeah, that's what it is. I had to put it on 5G real quick. Yeah.
I want to hear some
G
retarded
Boogie.
tweens. Loki. G Boogie, what up, man?
So I have dyslexia. So when Adley puts up the
Redeemed.
things,
Smoke
I
break.
can't I
Smoke
can't
break. Yeah.
I can't read like I can't speak the words while I'm reading them. So like whenever Adley puts the shout outs, I never say what's up to the person. I'm always just trying to read what they said. But Adley,
That's what I've been doing the whole time too. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
I'll try to pop.
Adley,
Yeah, when they pop on, I'm like trying to give you guys a second to
Adley doesn't have dyslexia though, so he'd be like, blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
read it quick. I'm like,
Bro,
oh, okay.
it was hard. Think about this, bro. So like I grew up in West Covina, but Adley was from
mm,
Orange County. And like we
mm,
met at university, but I wasn't supposed to go to university. I was a high school dropout. So I got my GED, went to community college. When I tested, I had a test. You had to take this entrance test. When I took the test, I was a junior in high school. So I had to take my senior in high school when I was in community college. Then I transfer up to university.
mm.
It sucked, man. You don't want to go there. It's a bunch of spoiled idiots, dude. It's like, but I didn't know
Right.
that. I didn't know that, right? Because, like, when you're in school, everybody pretends they're going to go to university, they're going to go to college, right? So, like, you think you're the dum dum that didn't go to college. Nah, bro. And
Right.
nobody went to college. Only people whose parents wanted them to go to college went to college. And
That's
you.
it.
And now you're there with all these fools trying to lie to you. Yeah, I was in a gang back home. You're like, what kind of gang, man? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't believe you, JP.
Like,
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 yeah, man. I'm
like
telling you.
what street name did you grow up on? Cuttlefish Lane? Like, come on,
Exactly,
bro.
bro. I'm telling you, man. Like they're like everybody was talking about all these crazy stories about growing up. I'm like, I don't know if I believe you, man. Like, I'm not trying to be mean,
Yeah.
but you don't seem like that type of fella. And it was really difficult for me to show up here. And you sound like someone who would be more difficult to show up here. And you don't seem like you have the fortitude to like to work. So I gotta assume you're
Oh,
lying to
bum
me.
bum.
You know what I mean? Like,
Bum bum.
only I didn't
The
say it like
truth
that.
bombs.
I didn't say it like
Yeah.
that, Locust. I said it probably something real mean like this, like, "Oh, you white people better leave me alone." Blah, blah, blah. So, how,
Hey, let
how
him
did I?
know with it. Why not?
How do you think I said it, Adley, back then?
I was pretty like, oh, you mother effers, this, that, you ain't no
Yeah, I was a
ish.
mean
Yeah, it was
person.
pretty
I wasn't
hardcore.
happy back then, bro. Like, I met God when I was older, but like, I wasn't when me and Adley were young. I wasn't ever happy. But now I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. I love meeting nice guys like you and listening to good stories like this. I love the Chino brothers. But the one thing that we like to do also is make all our guests uncomfortable by talking about Asian culture and reminding you that you're not half Asian. But don't feel bad because even Adley and I, even though we're both half Asian, we're different kind of half Asian. Now, in the Asian community, they say that one is called the fancy Asian and one is called the jungle Asian.
Shit.
Locust, out of the two of us, which would you think was the fancy Asian? Which would you think is the jungle Asian?
What's that? I'm going through a tunnel. I didn't hear that.
No, it don't make you racist, man. Don't make you racist just to say
No, I'm
just a
just kidding.
guess. What's your
Let's
guess?
see.
Which do you believe
So,
would be the fancy Asian? Which would you believe is the jungle Asian?
so one of y'all is fancy Asian, one of y'all is jungle Asian. I'm gonna say it like this. This is my just based off visual perception, right? Adelaide is the fancy Asian because he got like the little hair thing up top. He got the records. See how everything's all shifted.
Mhm.
You're more, the jungle Asian. Because look, you hitting that vape like a goddamn boss because you didn't pay what everyone else pays for that shit, and you're sitting there just living your life, So like, I don't know. That would be my perspective. You would be the jungle guy. You would be the fancy guy. I guess the city guy. I don't know.
Oddly
Crazy,
enough,
crazy
Logan,
rich Asian.
oddly enough, that's what you would think. However, you would be incorrect. Adley is Thai. I am Japanese. Thai people
Oh,
are jungle Asians. Japanese people are fancy Asians. However, Adler was always more reformed than I am because he had an Asian mother and I had an Asian father. Both of us had one Caucasian parent. So every week we watch a stereotypical video called either Asian mother or Asian father. Then whichever one of us it coincides with, we see how realistic it was to our childhood. So last week was Asian mother. So this week is Asian father. Adley, you ready to see what my dad would have done? And Adley knew my dad. So like,
Yeah.
he can chime in.
All right, roll tape. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Steven, you're still a failure.
Hi, how can I help? I'm Alexa.
Siri. 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 Oh. Siri. 雪花飘飘。Siri.
I'm Alexa.
Siri.
I'm Alexa.
Siri, turn off the light. Siri, fix my toilet. Siri, do my taxes. Play Despacito. Despacito. Tell people to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
Siri, why don't my son have girlfriend? What the hell Steven doing all day?
Would you like me to read his search history?
dun dun dun.
All right. That wasn't that guy's funniest word. But once again, last week I thought the Asian mom one was funny that Gavin picked. So I had my employee Gavin pick. I said, Gavin, look, find me a funny. Last week I had him do it for the Asian mom. He did a good job with the Asian mom.
That was
So he's fired now. He's fired now.
No, he can work
No,
harder.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe he thought that was funny. But I will say this:
I'm just kidding.
my dad could not understand technology, so yeah, I thought that was funny. And I think that's all I picked up from the video.
I'm just wondering, Locust, is there any similarities with a Native American mom?
My mom is crazy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My mom, I love you, mama. You know what I mean? My mom, she had a stroke like 7, 8 years ago, and even paralyzed halfway, bro. My mom is still a savage. Like when I was a kid, my mom was no joke. That's why I'm so stubborn. I think is because of how my mom was. I didn't even see. I don't even realize I was disabled till people would tell me like, "What's wrong with your legs?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot I walk funny." I forget because it's normal to me. I don't notice no difference, man. It's everyone else that tells me I'm disabled. But she was kind of the reason I'm like that. She was kind of the one that was like, "You got to go forth and just live your life," you know. And that's just how I've always been. My mom used to go to like crowded stores when I was in a wheelchair, and she would tell me in the morning, she'd be like, "Hey man, we're gonna do a drill or something today," and I'm like, "Ah." I already know what it means. We're gonna go to a crowded aisle. She's gonna unbuckle my wheelchair shit, and she's gonna spill me out in the aisle. She's gonna make me crawl back to my wheelchair and get up. And it sounds crazy, right? Like it does. Look at the look on Adelaide's face right now.
But
it sounds crazy.
Adley.
No, but you gotta understand what my mom was doing, right? My mom used to always tell me, "I'm not always gonna be here to pick you up. So you gotta learn to pick yourself up." She was serious about it.
I thought she was boosting stuff. I thought she was. I thought she was pulling her purse.
Nah,
I was
nah,
like,
my mom
that was the greatest scam ever.
Nah, hey, that would have been a cool. I was like, that'd have been a cool hustle, shit.
Son, we have filet mignon tonight.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have it. Throw that under the seat. If I sit on it, they won't check my ass.
I apologize for saying about your mom, Locust.
But for real, that is tough love. That is tough love for real.
Nah, that's just how she was. I just grew up with crazy parents, man. They didn't want me to feel inhibited or somehow disenfranchised because of the way I am. Like, and it's been a struggle because places I go, sometimes people do they don't like me very much. You could tell they don't either take me serious for music or I don't know. It's always just whatever. But I don't even pay no mind to it. I don't care. I don't even
Yeah,
care. I'm stoned half the time. I just laugh at them.
that's crazy though. Well, respect. Oh, big shout out to EVP.
Yep.
Locust is
Oh
the
yeah, what
man.
up, EVP?
Yeah,
That's my
EVP's
that's my
dog
fun.
dude
right
I
too.
there.
know EVP's fun.
Yeah. No
I
EG
think
checking in too. One of the best in town.
Oh, what
yeah.
up, Noe G? That's DJ
Yeah,
Noe
yeah.
G.
I'm
Much
just
love,
thinking
OG.
too, man. Just think how crazy that is too. Because how old are you in a wheelchair and your mom's pushing you out of the wheelchair? And it was there's a couple things, right? Get back up on your own, but did that help you get to the point where you actually didn't need the wheelchair?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like she did this every day. This was like it would just sporadically happen. She'd find all kinds of like ingenious ways to get me to do stuff for myself. And then my friends Carl and them, like they'd make me walk far places and till I almost pass out. Like I had a lot of like when I was young, I had a lot of people that pushed me to do more than I thought I could do.
Could you
Because they were
imagine
saying,
though?
I never,
Mike, just think about it. It's like, oh, little locust, we're going to the store. And you're like, dang, do I want to go with mom or not?
I mean,
I'll
like,
buy
man, are
you
we
yeah, nah,
boosting or
Takis.
what?
I'll
I
buy
thought
you
we were gonna start
Takis.
boosting.
yeah.
I want
What
some
we boosting today,
here.
mama?
Yeah.
What we boosting today? They ain't checking my legs. Throw that ham under there,
If we're
goddamn
boosting, then
it.
yes, I'm going to the store. But we're just doing this for pretends. Then I ain't got no reason for this. Come on
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
No, but look,
Like, I don't know,
I mean,
man.
does this millennial generation make you feel that, man? All these people saying all this stuff about how this is the worst generation and they just can't take it and so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot of soft people out there. Doesn't that frustrate you?
I was gonna say that word because I'm trying not to get canceled again. One time I was on a podcast and I said something, and all of a sudden now my Instagram's deleted, both my Facebook are gone. Yeah, yeah,
Whoa.
so I'm trying to be very careful with how I say things because I'm not big enough yet to get canceled. I need a couple more M's in my pocket
Yeah,
before
you
that
gotta climb
happens.
up. Yeah,
But
you gotta climb up.
yeah, I still got ladder climbing to go. I'm humble about my position. I'm thankful. Shout out to my team, my label,
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, I feel like um, the how do I say this? The most of the generation of today, they didn't have the kind of parents that I had because it was indoctrinated into me early that life is not fair. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a cold world. It's a cold world. It's a dog eat dog world. You got to learn to survive out here, and sometimes you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta make hard choices in life, and no one owes me anything. I was never taught that I was owed anything because I'm crippled. You don't have to open the door for me. You don't have to hold the door for me. You don't have to pick that up for me because I dropped it. No one owes you anything. That's how I was raised. It's kind of hard to say that now because we live in a very entitled era. Everyone's owed respect. You owe me respect. You owe me niceties. You owe me this. You owe me that. I'm entitled to these things. And it's kind of counter to how I look at life. I feel like you're much happier when you realize that, I've done a lot of DMT and other psychedelics, and I'll say it like this. I'm not trying to turn this into a Joe Rogan podcast, but, the moon doesn't even know we're here. Think about that. Our closest celestial neighbor has no idea we're even here. So why do people think that they're so special? We're not. We're a blip on the map. So for people to think that they're owed anything in life, nah, you got to go get it. You got to go after it till you capture it, and you got to get off your ass to get on your feet. Good doesn't come to people just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. Nah, man, you got to go after it. Nobody handed me a mic and said rap. No one taught me to make beats and said this is how you use a bass drum. No. I wanted it. Even when other people thought I couldn't have it, I wanted it. So I went
Yeah.
after it. No matter what anyone said to me, it didn't matter. Because I wanted it, I went after it. And every day I get up out of bed and I have a choice. I can either lay back in bed and go, oh man, life is hard. I don't know what to do. Or I can say, fuck it, I'm gonna grab it by the balls. We're out. Let's go. Let's
You
do
Yeah.
it.
know,
I'm out of
you know,
bed.
That's good.
you know what would be crazy to me, Locust? If
Mm.
I heard a DJ who got to work with some of the greatest talents I'd ever heard tell me the universe doesn't want me to DJ. Don't those type of words bother you when they say some stuff like that? The universe is like, brother, there ain't no such thing as a universe.
Nah, bro. There's you. We all have, the same start to the day. I don't like to say we
Right
have
day.
24 hours in a day because it's not true. We don't really have 24 hours in a day. I hate when people say that because at least if you're a smart man, you're gonna sleep 8 hours a day. I don't care that Elon Musk only sleeps four. For human conditioning, for peace of mind and rest, you need at least 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're a hustler, you got 8 hours a day at a 9 to 5 job, or you got 8 hours a day of hustling, trying to figure it out. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a hustler, it's really a 12-hour shift. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
already you got 8 hours of sleep. You got two businesses, bro. You tell me you work 8 hour day. Nope. Sometimes you don't get no sleep. You know what I
Nope.
mean? You
I
stressing
mean,
about orders.
it's that, and then on top of it, I do all the production for Chino Brothers. You know, and
Yes.
then on
You
top
have a
of it,
life.
you know what I mean?
You have
Like
a life.
I got the
So let's say you
kids, I
slept.
got the wife.
Exactly, and you have a family. So let's say
Yeah.
you sleep 8 hours a day, you hustle 12, right? What's that leave you with? 4 hours. 4 hours to do your thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to be good at, whatever you love, whatever you cherish, whatever you feel like your reason for still living is, you only get 4 hours a damn day to do it. That's not a lot of time. So
Hmm.
you have to use your time wisely and go forth and research. I hate one of my biggest dislikes in the world. I hate to admit it. I hate when people ask me, "Hey, how do I do this? How do I do a high pass filter for my bass?" You don't have YouTube, bro. You ain't got Wi-Fi. Your fingers broke. You don't know how to use Google. Come on, homie. Come on, homie. You don't know how to use Google.
That's true.
Bro, when I
Yeah.
built the studios for the Chino Brothers, like I'd go on YouTube, right? And I was like, okay, now how can I afford this? Right. And like you'd see these kids on there and they're like 26, and they'd go, "You want to see my studio?" And it'd be like this empty garage, and they'd go, "It's this beautiful studio." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm a bum. How come I can't do that?" And then I realized, oh, that's not their money. So then like it started getting more
Yeah,
frustrating. Yes,
yeah,
it started getting more frustrating, but I had to learn equipment because I wanted to get good mics, I wanted to get good headphones, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get, and we needed towers, we needed cameras. So I'm like,
right.
okay. So you had to kind of eat it, like paying attention.
You have to
However,
research.
yeah, that being said, two things. One, because there's so many people who think they're supposed to be on the internet and they probably aren't supposed to be, you can get
Definitely.
microphones really inexpensively now, and good cameras really inexpensive, and amazing lights really inexpensively. Like the barrier when me and Adley were young and we were in radio, the barriers that they had there were gatekeepers. The barrier you
Yeah,
have now is your drive.
Is
If you don't
your
have
yourself.
good
drive.
drive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
What do you want out of life? That's all. That's all we got. Like I'm not super viral, cracking, popping like that. I mean, you know, I get like 20,000 streams a month on Spotify,
that's pretty
average.
dope. That's
You
pretty
know,
dope.
which is great. And shout out to Blue Pie. You know, that's my record label. You know, I'm signed to an overseas label. You know, shout out to my brother DL Downer. You know, I like but it's not nothing. It's a drop. I'm still searching, or I'm not even searching. I'm still chasing what I want out of my career. Like I'm not just gonna stop and be like, okay, cool. I get 20,000 streams on a good month from Spotify. I don't even know with iTunes and everything together. We'll say like fuck it, all the way around 50,000 streams a month, which is great. But that's not a stopping point. That just
Mhm.
tells me, okay, I'm doing something right
That you're
enough.
digging correctly. Yeah, that you're digging
Yeah.
the dirt, that you're digging the earth
Mhm.
correctly in the right direction.
Well, that's because as an art, I'm more than just a rapper or a producer or a sound capture engineer. I'm more than those things. Like I can do all of those things, but I understand my career. Like I understand my numbers. I know the congressional limit on the lowest amount you can make per stream is 0.0017 of a cent. I know that because Google told me that, and I cross-referenced the information several times to make sure I was right. So I can do a roundabout calculation on how much certain streams are going to bring me in, etc. You know,
Wait,
and that's
so I
just
have a
based.
question for you. So what do you need?
Huh.
Like, what? How did you get with the label, and why do you need a label at this stage? Go
Well,
ahead.
okay, so the label part, like this just sort of happens. So I left Bakersfield for Las Vegas last year. And hey, can you turn that down all the way for me? You can play it. I don't care. I'm just on this thing real quick. Um, I went to Vegas for a little while, and then I had came back. My grandma got sick, and I ended up taking care of her and stuff. And she ended up passing away, and I was her caretaker. But it was my honor because like I got to really be with her, you know, to her final days, and she did a lot for me when I was a kid. So I
Mhm.
felt like I got to fulfill my debt. Um,
Mhm.
but I was at a pretty low point, and I had this song called "Coping Mechanism," and did work with my boy DL Downer, Mr. Sugar Boom Boom before. We did a couple of records back in like 2018 together, and so I reached out to him and was like, "Hey man, I want to put you on this song," and he wrote a banging like deep verse to it. So we hit the studio and recorded it, and his label liked it. You know what I mean? So they ended up offering me a deal. So and everything changed after that. Then it's like I've been doing all kinds of shows and going all kinds of crazy places. Like Downer really put me on, man. Shout out to my boy, man. He really did.
So the label has those connections to help you get on a tour, to help you
Yeah. So
get
well,
out there.
yeah, they're big overseas, and I got a big overseas market already. I already had a couple of cool followers from overseas, as far as numbers were for streams, but they blew it up. Like now, like I'm
Where
really
where
real.
Like
overseas?
Europe
Like
or like
Philippines?
Uh, Australia, France, Spain. I have Argentina. I'm gonna end up going to Argentina, hopefully sometime this year,
Wow, they
to do
speak
some
English like
stuff.
that over there?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
We gotta start broadcasting our podcast over there, Adley. We gotta start shooting our
Yeah.
podcast out towards the
Hey man,
Argentina.
no, hey, real talk, man. It changed my life. Like overseas is where it's at. Like that. That's where you will build a genuine like fan base. They'll if they like your content, if they like your music, if they like whatever you're doing, like people not from here will support it. We're westernized, man. We're the West. It's hard
Yeah.
out here. We don't like ourselves. We kill ourselves. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah.
like ourselves. So it's hard. I mean, I do have a lot of home supporters. Don't get me wrong. Like I love my country, but like the facts of the matter are, most big rappers that you've seen blow up over the years, they popped overseas first. They popped in Russia. They popped in the
Mm.
Chinese market.
Wow,
You
really?
know, yeah. Well, the Asian market, they love California culture. You got cholos and stuff over there. They got a
Really?
whole cholo movement. Yeah, if you look into it,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
seen that.
We've
I
got to
think
figure
it's
out
in
where that
Japan.
is and start pointing our podcast that direction,
But
Adley.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Do
start
it.
directing it that
Do
way.
it.
That's dope, dude. That's
All right, well,
really cool.
Locust,
Hey, real quick though, one last thing before we get into
go
that,
ahead.
Mike. EVP brought up something real cool too. Alex G looking down, proud of you. And
Oh
Alex G
man.
was one of those one of the DJ dudes that I had mad respect for. We'd only talked, we never really hung out or in person or anything, but I know he's legendary here at Bakersfield. And you did a song with him, and just
Yeah.
kind of digging into a little bit in your relationship with him and how that was.
So, um, the lit tour that I went on with T Davis, my brother T Davis, shout out to my brother, man. It was a hard trip. I'm not gonna. It was hard. It was hard, and I'm just gonna word it like that. That way, I don't. Yeah. So it was hard. It was just hard on us. We were having a hard time. It was our first tour together we ever did. Our first time with a professional, whatever. It was very hard. Like we went through the struggle. I'll just put it that way. And on the tour, Alex G was on the tour. He was a major factor, part of my homeboy McQuambe. Shout out McQuambe's camp. I think it's Rank Rated now. He changed his name, but anyway, he's seen our show, me and T Davis' set, and really liked it. So he invited us to his house for the couple days that we were off, because we were off in between dates. We had like 3 or 4 days off. So he had invited me and T Davis to his house, and I don't know. It was on after that. Like he loved us, so we did some stuff together. And anytime he could put us onto something, he did. Like he was really cool. But his favorite thing to do with me and him had a really crazy relationship. The ones that know me and Alex know, because like we would talk hella mess to each other, man. It's harsh. This fool would hate on anything I posted, like new music. If the video was up doing its thing, he would start talking shit. Oh,
Yeah.
this is mediocre. You suck. Whoop de whoop. But he would do it on purpose. He told me because he's like, I want people to attack me and defend you because it builds clout and it gets people to pay attention to the videos because we going back and forth. Alex was smart.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
smart. So we used
Yeah.
to, yeah, and we used to go hard on each other. That was my guy. But we were supposed to do an album together. And what happened was he had sent me the beat for what ended up being the same guy and a couple other beats. To do an album with him when I got back to town. But with COVID and all that other stuff, like it just, I don't
Yeah.
know, things got in the way. And he never got to hear the song. That's the saddest part about it. He never even got to hear that
Yeah.
song. I told him I had something written to it, and I just hadn't had time to record it. And I came back to Bakersfield for a funeral. My homie Zach died. Rest in peace, Zach. And the day of his funeral, or the next morning, I was getting ready to leave back to Las Vegas, and that's when we found out that Alex G had just died. So then
Yeah.
I went to Alex's funeral. And yeah, I put that song out right before. It was right before the funeral. No, it was after. Right after
Right
the
around
funeral,
that
I put it
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That dude, major influence for
yeah,
everybody if
man.
you're in music, especially in Bakersfield too, man. So definitely rest in peace. That sorry, man. I just wanted to bring that up because
Oh yeah, no, no,
um,
that's real. Rest in peace, Alex
we
G, man,
wanted
for sure.
I was trying to get him on too. And I remember we did one of his last booked shows was one of those it was like a cancer organization, anti-cancer,
Mm,
and he was booked for that, but we got the gig because he wasn't feeling good. And it was shortly after
right.
that he passed. And you're just like, man, that's too
Oh
bad
no.
because I unfortunately never got the chance to hang out with him,
Oh
but you know,
man.
talk to him
Yeah,
here and
see.
there, and just heard the good things about him. Heard he can be
No,
very
Alex
harsh.
was stand up. Oh no, that was
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
loved about him the most. You think I got no filter? He was straight up with you. Look, you never had to wonder where you sat at Alex G's table, bro. If he didn't like you, he would tell you. He
Good.
didn't.
yeah,
He had
yeah,
no
yeah,
filter whatsoever. If something didn't have it, he would tell you it's not it. Like, he would
yeah.
tell you. He wouldn't mince words. But to say all that, also to say this though, like he was loyal, man. He was really a good friend, and like any event that he was at, like I never got hit at the door to throw nothing in the bucket. Every time he
Mm,
found out me or T Davis was coming through, like if they sweat us at the door, he would come up. Like, nah, they're with me. Come on, let's go. Like I was
Oh,
yeah,
always
nice.
everywhere that Alex was at, like we were already there. Like it was cool.
uh,
He was very supportive. Very
yeah.
supportive. I'm sad because he hasn't got to see me do all this. Well, I mean, looking down or whatever, depending on religious beliefs, but. I'm like, damn, I kind of wish he was still here for sure because, man, I could show him some stuff I'm doing right now. It'd be crazy.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
I have to catch
yeah,
him in the next life. That's all it is,
yep, yep. So
Yeah.
carry on. That's I just want to make sure we hit that point.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say at the end of the show, Locust, what we do is we read celebrity gossip. So Adley is gonna read out some stories, and since you're the guest, you will pick which story we read first. Then I'll make fun of them, and you can join me as we do it. So Adley, you want to
All
tell
right.
Locust these stories?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna read some headlines. You tell me what feels like you want to talk about. So I don't know if you're gonna know her or not, but Suzanne Summers and her husband, and they're both over 70. She says they have sex 3 times before noon. So we can get into that story if you want. There's
Is
something
Cuz
that's
snorting is he snorting a Vicodin, bro? Like a Viagra, I mean? Like
Vicodin.
3 times?
and he's in his
Three
80s.
times.
He's in his 80s. She's in her
Yeah,
70s.
he's on like a Viagra drip. They got a drip directly hooked up to his unit. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
like they're probably eating like some sort of like you're not
I
gonna
need
be
to
able
give
to
this a
afford this
chance.
food. All right, what else we got? What else we got,
Okay,
Adley?
Yeah, this is
another
crazy.
save that because here's another headline. So there's something coming across the border from Mexico. It's not what you think. They're smuggling eggs.
Oh wow.
So they're smuggling eggs across the border. That's how crazy it's getting.
Um,
All right.
I'm gonna
What's
give you
our
another
other?
one.
I
Here's a hip
mean,
hop one. Here's a hip hop head thing for you though. Tupac and Biggie AI app allows fans to text message the late rappers. So
oh
it actually
Lord,
works. So we got old
yeah.
sex, eggs, and AI with Biggie and Tupac.
I mean, we can touch on all of them. I don't
Yeah.
want to touch the old sex though. I would, yeah.
Which
You
one's
know,
first? Which one's first, Locust? You pick.
I mean, eggs are like $10 a dozen right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to say about that. The chickens are on strike. Damn it, I don't know. Eggs all of a sudden became gold in this joint. Like, omelet $20.
Well, we can get
$20
into it.
omelet.
You want me to read the story and we
Yeah,
can
let's go
comment?
for it. Let's
Let's
see
do
what
it.
we got.
So
All right, yeah. Let's,
why did the eggs cross the border? Seizure of eggs from Mexico spikes along the border. Now sticker shock in the egg aisle has gotten some shoppers headed south of the border. I mean, here in Bakersfield, I'm seeing it. Then seizures of raw eggs at the El Paso airports of entry have nearly doubled from a year ago and have risen more than 300% at Laredo, Tucson, and San Diego. In El
Wow.
Paso, yeah, it's a small number so far. 42
Wow.
seizures from November to January, up from 22 a year ago during the same period. Now, San Diego, they've made more than 1,000 seizures of
1,000?
the same periods over two
Wait,
over
1,000 dozen or 1,000 eggs? Like, what is
seizures. People trying to
it
1,000
might
times
be
people have
like,
been busted.
yeah, and you might get busted with like 20 cartons or something. You know what I mean? You're going to Mexico, you're not trying to just get a dozen eggs.
Oh, you're gonna flip them, right? You're gonna bring a
Yeah,
truckload.
probably.
Like, hey, man, I'm gonna sell them for triple what I paid for them down in Mexico.
eggs, though, right? Is this slang for something else?
I
Am I
feel like
lost?
Real
I feel like
eggs.
the border patrol agents are eating nice, bro. You know what I mean? Because you know they're not throwing them eggs out. They're just cooking them eggs up. Like, okay, we're taking these eggs from you. You know you're not supposed to be bringing these infested eggs into the United States. Now be on your way, sir. They're like, yo,
And
I
they
got the
cooking up
eggs.
our omelet. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody's laced up with eggs in the INS right now, bro. All them, they all have eggs, dude. Every one of them.
Oh, we can get into that. You already know they're on the take for everything. A point off everything that come across that line go in their pocket. That's how this works.
I bet you
Ain't
the
no
eggs are
war on
going straight
drugs.
to them. I bet you the eggs are all them. Because think about it. Like cocaine, you got to explain why you're missing it. Eggs, it's like, man, I threw it in the garbage. What are you talking about? I'm not keeping eggs around here. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm rolling up El Monte swap meet. All right, guys. I'm gonna stand on the corner, bro. Like the
We
orange man.
went we went from toilet paper in 2020 to eggs in 2023. What's next? On this episode of Earth.
Ah.
Well, here there's a little blip right here comparing the prices. Now, this one lady coming up from in Juarez, she pays $4.80 for 30 eggs, but in El Paso at the Walmart, it was $16
For 30
so
eggs?
so 436 for 36. So
Okay.
you're almost 4 times as much. I think that's worth the risk, don't you think? If I could sling them
Yeah.
for 4 times as much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like California. You can't buy menthol cigarettes here no more. No more Newports. No more
Oh,
flavor
that's right.
vapes. You couldn't have vape shops out here because there ain't no more flavor vapes. Cotton candy, bubble gum. California outlawed all that. So before long, because I mean, this law has been in effect for probably like a month now. You know, give it 6 more months, we're gonna have like the underground railroad of Newports like
Oh
coming up in
yeah,
this
you
joint.
probably will.
Yeah.
It might not even take 6 months to be totally honest with you. That Kim Jong Newsom that you guys are all voting for, I don't know what you're doing, man.
Hey man, I stopped voting. I can't take the line for this one, man. My mom and both my parents are military veterans. They used to say if I didn't vote, I couldn't complain. So I don't say nothing. I'm just, I'm more of a nihilist. Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
don't know,
excited to
man.
see where it goes. Like, it's like a tire fire, dog. You just gotta, it is what it is.
I don't know, man.
They got a lot of chickens over there in Oildale. You got chickens?
No, but it's not uncommon to see it. But I can't think of anyone that I know that has chickens. But
We
I've
got
seen
yeah,
chickens in
I
yards.
got homies that got chickens.
My neighbors had
Mm.
I
chickens
got
when I
homies
was
with
growing up.
chickens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got them. Yeah, we got them over here and stuff too. So yeah,
I
it's
wish if I lived in a warmer climate, I'd have chickens, but like, bro, it gets mad cold here, and I don't want those chickens in my house. And then I gotta learn how to make a chicken coop and all that. I think I'm good.
yeah,
Plus, like,
all
I
doing
don't want to
good.
get friendly with my next meal. Like, that has always been my problem with it. It's like,
Yeah.
Because when there's no more eggs, you eat the chicken.
yeah, for sure. The first time that rooster wakes me up too early, it's over for that thing.
I know that's the
I'm
next
gonna,
thing is they make so much noise.
yep,
Yeah,
I
our
can't
neighbor
do
had
it.
one, but they didn't have it for very long, man. Because everybody was
Yeah,
complaining,
for
like,
sure.
dude, you got to get rid of that thing, man. Yeah, oh yeah. But
Yeah.
knowing somebody who has chickens that lays eggs and hooks you up, that's good to know right now. If you're paying,
Gavin, my number
$6.
2 at the shop, his in-laws have a farm, and every once in a while he'll bring me down a dozen of the free range eggs, and they taste like butter. They taste better than any
Oh
eggs you've
yeah,
ever had in
yeah,
your life. They're bright
Yeah.
orange, like they're
yep.
amazing. Yeah, like I've never tasted anything like these eggs. Every once in a while he'll bring them by, but he'll bring a dozen down for me and then a dozen down for Brandon at my other shop. But Brandon doesn't cook, so he just gives them to me. So then I take them home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, eggs are
Now
the
you're
best,
on.
dude. Yeah, woo-wee.
Yeah,
Even
once you got real eggs, not that store bought stuff, like it's different, man.
I
That's
still
yeah.
like
real.
store-bought eggs. I'll still eat them, you know what I mean? But like when you have the and not even free range, I paid too much for this at the store free range chicken eggs. Like your homeboy has a chicken eggs. They're delicious, man. Especially if they live, because like that farm is in Ohio. So these chickens just have forever to run around. No worries. Everything's good. So those chickens lay nice eggs.
Man, that sounds like a tasty omelet.
If you guys are thinking about sneaking eggs across the border, though, it can get you a $300 fine, even up to $1,000 for attempting to cross agricultural goods without making a declaration. So be warned.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it's worth the risk.
But I was gonna say it's kind of. I'm doing the money right now. I'm like, wait a minute.
$1,000. Like if I just rent a U-Haul, that's like the first rack, bro. Like, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, you can get the little U-Haul though.
Yeah, that might be something to think about too. Make some money. There's a come up right there, man. Sneaking
side
eggs
hustle.
into Mexico.
That's the new side hustle, everybody. Go down to Mexico, get some eggs.
Get some of those eggs.
Tell us about the Suzanne Summers pervert. What's going on with that?
All right, guys. Here's the next story. So Suzanne Summers, Mike and I remember from Three's Company, right? Was it Three's Company? She was on.
Oh, it's Three's Company's what it sounds like right now too. They probably
yeah. So Suzanne Summers, who's 74, and Alan Hamill, her husband, is 84, and she said they have sex 3 times before noon.
Dude, I'm having a hard time believing it.
Yeah, she says,
like, bro, 84. Like, bro, I can't even think it. Like, he could have sex, but he can't walk upstairs. I don't understand.
First things first. How hot was Suzanne Summers when you were a kid, though, Adley?
She was hot. She was good looking.
She was super attractive. And then she did a Thigh Master commercials.
Oh,
would you bone her now that she's 74? Would you bone her?
I don't know, bro, man. Like, she's like, I mean, I'm married. I'd never cheat on my wife, but
it's free parking though. Her eggs have expired. You could just free park in there.
Go ahead, Adley. You can answer that one.
Speaking of eggs, right? So she says, the Three's Company star, she says, because of hormones, they've been having sex a lot lately.
Oh,
at
they're
this
getting
stage,
hormones.
Okay, that explains
hormones in quotes, though.
I don't know.
That's the scary part.
A lot of people are taking that testosterone replacement theory or therapy and like that type of stuff. Like when they're getting older because they want to stay young, or they're getting the what is that? I can't remember. Mel Gibson did it. Yeah. Oh,
We'll have
keep
to
reading
dig
the
into
story.
that
See what
too,
it is.
because
Yeah.
if they're taking hormones, that's different. But
it sounds like they are
natural, because it says because of hormones.
Yeah, he's 84. There's no way it's gonna stand up on its own.
It's not natural. It's not,
He's probably got the prostate the size of a grapefruit. He doesn't even pee right. Like, you know.
At this stage, she says, at this stage of life, most people think that, over the hill, too much information. But what time is it? Like noon? I've had sex with them 3 times so far today. What is it, about 4:30 in the morning? Then suddenly, there he is. I'm going, could you at least wait until the sun comes up? Our relationship has always been amazing. They've been married since 77, by the way.
I bet you he's still, he probably has a picture of her, of like the Three's Company poster up behind the bed when they're knocking boots. He's looking at her when she was young. He's like,
oh my gosh. Oh, you're right. And read more of the story. Here it is. Okay.
Here it comes.
Okay, that while they were isolated due to the pandemic, she said at the time, she says, quote, I have a husband who I inject every Tuesday with testosterone.
I told you.
And Wednesday's a very good day.
What? Yeah, I told you. Testosterone. It's the testosterone replacement therapy.
Oh my god!
It's that and
is that
and stem cells. No, it's not healthy. That and stem cells. People. Mel Gibson's been shooting stem cells. That's kind of the theory. Is look, bro, how much longer do I got? I might as well live like I'm 22. But it gives cancer. Like the problem is it inflames cancer. I don't know how to explain it.
Kind of like almost promotes it, like kind of.
Well, because it's a human growth. So you get a human growth hormone, but the growth isn't just towards your testosterone. It's towards everything in your body. So if there's a cancer in your body that's small, it causes it to grow like rapidly.
Okay. It's almost like vitamins for cancer.
Yeah.
Or something.
You can't pinpoint where it's going to go.
Can you imagine a day when you're too old to do it?
I don't know, man. Like, you know what?
Gotta be a little depressing.
I'm wondering, like, here's the problem. Asian people don't age. So like we look relatively the same age as we've always looked. I can't imagine that Asian day, because it comes for all of us, where you just turn into a kung fu master overnight and you look like, you know what I mean? Just
rocking
all,
a cane.
Yeah, all at once, dude.
And a
It
long
must
beard.
happen all at once. So like, I don't know what that's going to be like, looking in the mirror and seeing an old person. Because right now I look in the mirror and I see a 38-year-old. I'm like, oh man, you haven't aged yet, have you? Well, sucks for everybody else, like. So yeah,
But
that's
shooting up testosterone. I can't see myself being like.
I thought about it.
Really?
Yeah, I did, because I was kind of like, wow, like when you're working as much as I work, and you're used to staying up and working as hard as I'm used to staying up and working as hard, you're like, well, maybe my testosterone has gone down. But then I looked into it, and that's how I found out about the HGH causing worse cancer. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, as soon as I found that out, I was like, no, we're good. Like, you can hold on to that one.
Yeah, it exasperates it. It makes it worse.
Lokust, what lengths will you go to keep doing it?
I mean, dude, they got all kinds of pills and crap now. Like, you ain't even gotta worry about it. You could,
Dude, we sell pills at
pop
my
one of them
shop.
joints.
Yeah, we sell pills
you got
at
the
my
Blue
shop.
Rhino. The homie AD, shout out. Shout out Compton AD.
We got the Rhino.
He has a whole album about it. The Blue Rhino, yep.
We got the Rhino at the shop, and then we got the Firm. We got the one's called the Firm, and then we got one.
Firme.
Yeah, bro. And then we got another one. I can't remember what it's called. Dude, there's this other one, bro. That's the one. Like, that's the one. So like, they sent it to us, so I'm like, I better try it, because I'm not gonna try to sell this if it doesn't work. Yeah, bro. That's the one, dude. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like,
wait.
Here, watch. Take your arm out like this, and hold the skin back on your arm.
Yeah.
That's how it feels, because that's how stretched out it becomes from taking that pill. And it's involuntary, bro. Like, it's not your decision.
So you're just having a safety meeting at the store, and you're like full of ass.
It's awful, dude. It's awful. And then when you're finished, it doesn't go to sleep, dude. When you're finished, it doesn't go to sleep. I tried it, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. This is horrible. Like, but if you're an old man and it doesn't work, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's what you would use, bro. We sell them.
That's funny.
Like,
it's all natural.
How long did it last?
I can't say it's all natural, Adley. What were you saying? What were you asking, Lucas?
I don't even know, because he said all natural. I'm like, what fruit makes you horny? Like,
no, I don't. I didn't say that. Adley said that. I don't know where he got that information from.
I was like, all natural.
I already told you I deal with scumbags, bro. My industry is filled with scumbags.
Hey, Mike, what's the markup on that?
You know what? I don't get a big markup on that one.
Oh, really?
No,
okay.
Because it's kind of novelty item, and we don't put it out. Like, we don't put it in the cases, because we have a lot of female customers.
Hey,
yeah,
you
gotta ask. You gotta ask for it. You have
hey,
to.
look, man, my pecker don't peck. Can I get one of those pills?
Bro, it's like this. My dudes are that good a salesman that you don't even have to have it out there, and it's the most embarrassing thing you could sell, and we still burn it, bro. That's how good my guys are of sales. That's how well I taught them how to sell, bro. That's my craft that I've passed on to these young men. So if I pass away, they'll still have a career. But dude, if they could sell like that, trust me, bro, they'll sell you what I need you to sell.
Wait, so you guys know, like, you guys like, oh, that guy walking in right there, sell him some boner pills.
No, you kind of like slip the jab on it. You know what I mean? Because like we got the legal weed now and stuff. You know, so we'll be like, hey, yo, man, we got this new strain. And they're like, oh, really? Yeah, man, I'll make your wife look prettier. Make your worries go away. You make the joke sound funnier. We got you, bro. It's only $42 for 2 grams, man. You want it or no? Yeah. Hey, bro, and if this is for the romantic reason, we do got them pills. Make it if that's what you need, but I'm not saying. And then you'll get it, right? Like, they'll be like, no, I don't need that. And you're like, no, he'll be buying them later from somebody else. When I leave, he'll come and ask Gavin about them. Yeah. And then, or it'll be like, well, I do have a first date tonight, and I'm not sure. You're like, okay, I got you, bro. So
that's dope.
Don't snort it. You're fine.
Or like sometimes we'll have Valentine's Day specials, and like we'll throw like you get a indica, whatever, and then you get some of these gummies that make you feel more romantic, and then we'll throw those pills in there. Like, oh yeah, I don't have your boyfriend try this or your husband try this. Like, we don't tell them what it does. You know what I mean? And then you can get cluckers that way. There's just different ways.
Wow.
It's not the easiest. It's not nicotine. Nicotine is real easy to get a clucker because like you started when you were 11. You weren't supposed to do that. You're 40 now. You don't want lung cancer. You want something that's going to do water vapor in your lungs with low nicotine. I got you. Okay. Ganja was a little harder because like there's a loophole in our state where we could sell something called Delta 8, which is from the stock of the plant. It's not the flower.
Right. Yeah,
so we don't have to have licenses for it, but they keep coming out with these new strains of it, which are like pretty close to stronger than 9, but with no paranoia. But like initially selling that was really hard because first of all, you're telling people, hey, you don't need any form of license. We're right across the street from a police station. This is going to be half the cost of what your dealer's selling it to you for. Would you like to buy it? And people are like, there's no way. Once you start getting cluckers on that, then it kind of sells itself. You know what I mean? It makes it a little easier. Though that's where the margin is, Adlai, is in the ganja, in the weed. That's where the you get, because think about it, bro. Like if
everybody smokes reefer, man. Everybody smokes weed, bro. Everybody.
Yeah, and I'm selling against a dispensary, and the dispensary has mad taxes they have to pay to the state, and to this, and to the that. Then they have to pay for their security and this and that. Me, it's just an extra thing I'm selling. I was like,
it's just another tool in the toolbox. That's
exactly. It. So a gram over at the dispensary, 1 gram is $82. Where I'll sell you a 2 gram disposable for $42. So it kind of sells itself once they know you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, once they know you got it, good dope sells itself, man.
Yeah, then the homies start coming through. I heard you got some. They start looking around like, I heard you. No, it's right here, bro. You know what I mean? I got you right here in this case. Whole case, bro. Bunch of gummies, bunch of,
Yep. I got your weed. I got your boner pills. What you need? Come see me.
Yeah. The boner
one-stop shop.
Yeah, but you like it's hard to sell the boner pills. But
the one-stop pop hard cock shop. Look, see, you can make it a whole thing.
That's it. Dude. Tiny box vape shop. And it's also that and then on the bottom, tiny box vape shop. But yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, Adlai, about this testosterone replacement therapy?
I don't know, dude. The guy's 84. How long does he really have left? And you might as well have fun.
Oh yeah, if I live to 84, I'm doing it too. It worked for him.
Yeah. If cancer ain't got me by then, you
get mad shredded on it too, dude, because it's steroids.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so like you get mad. That was another reason I was thinking about it because I was trying to lose weight at the time. I'm like, well, if I just got this extra testosterone, I could work out harder, all this stuff. But yeah, your back doesn't hurt as bad, your knees don't hurt as bad. But stem cell therapy, bro, that's what I think it's really at. But you got to go down to
Mexico.
No. Panama. You got to go down to Panama. They got these doctors. They just shoot you filled with them stem cells. They make you young. They make you young, from what I understand. I feel like Lokust has a better shot at it than the two of us because he can actually go down there and be like, I have a medical need. Can you shoot me with the stem cells? Where you and I'll just show up and be like, hey man, we want to be young again. Can you please shoot us with stem cells? We don't want to do steroids.
Then I'll be like, I want a refund. I thought I would get high off this. What's wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. But hey man, 84, live your life.
Hey man, do your thing. Let it hang. Why not?
All right, so if this guy and his let's say he passes away, God forbid, and Suzanne Summers was single again, Adlai, would you go out there?
At 74?
Yeah, is she attractive to you?
Looking at pictures of her at 74, she looks like she's in pretty good shape for 74.
Well, that doesn't answer the question. Would you go out with her or not? That's the question.
I mean, I bang grandmas. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Look, because you're Grammy like me, bro. That's why I didn't ask the question. Adlai's a classy dude.
Yeah, I'm hoping one of y'all got her number. I'm like, what's up? You single?
I might. I say I might.
Speaking of being old,
yeah.
Did you ever get your AARP card, dude?
I get stuff in the mail all the time. Like, hey, sign up.
Did you get it? I didn't know if I was going to sign up for it. I got it. I'm like, I don't think Adlai got one. I'm not going to get one.
Why would you get it? Does it got really got good
You get
deals?
discounts, I guess. I don't know. Old people do it.
Locust,
Yeah,
we're old dudes.
We're
talking
old now,
about it.
yeah. All right, what's the
Starting to get
last
into it,
story?
fun.
What's the last story, Adley?
All right, let's do the Tupac Biggie AI.
I got you.
We're all big fans of Tupac and Biggie, and there's now a text. Now that they're now a text away, thanks to a new artificial intelligence chatbot that allows users to message notable people from history. So, Historical Figures, that's the name of the company. It was released earlier this month, and the two rap legends are among 20,000 names like Babe Ruth, even Adolf Hitler, that
What?
users can message. Yeah, it's created by a
Wait,
20
hold on a second. Like what? Who would
Dude, you,
message Hitler? Like,
you
what do
know,
you say to AI Hitler? Like,
That would be
You're-
so weird, huh?
your homeboy is
Exactly.
racist if he's talking to AI Hitler, bro. That's low key. You know for sure. If you're like, hey, let me see your chat bot, and you're like, hold on a sec. It's like, oh, what do you got, a weird girl or something? It's like, then you look at his history. Hitler, what? What's going on? You know,
Adolf. You notice nobody's named Adolf. I haven't heard that name since then. Like, I've never met an Adolf in real life.
they checked it
Never.
off the list.
I swear to.
Yeah, they have one conversation that someone shared on social media. It was a chat with Biggie, and it showed the late legend praising Tupac despite their rivalry. Now, the Biggie AI says, quote, "It's been a few years since his passing, and I miss him every day, but he lives on through his music." The AI Biggie said when asked if he still had love for Tupac. He continued, "Pac was one of the hardest working guys in the rap game. He put out classics like Changes and Dear Mama that will never be forgotten. We had similar upbringing, so I felt a kinship with him and strived to do my best in honor of him. Real talk." But then the user responded with, "But he dissed you on it, though." So Biggie said, "You know what? That's just part of the game. Never took things too personally in my career, neither did Pac. So although we had our differences at time, it was all just business for me. At the end of the day, he respected my hustle and talent, and I have nothing but respect for him. We'll always have a special bond through music." Weird,
Yeah,
right?
then you ask the AI Pac, and he's like, "F your," and you claim
Yeah.
left side is the click, and then
I'm gonna go on there just to ask if he smashed Biggie's wife for real. Like, I'm gonna go on there. Damn.
Oh, that's true, huh? Yeah.
Did you really smack? Or are you just saying that?
now, Locust, how important is beef for a hip hop artist? Like, is it important that somebody has beef with you, or do you not want people to have beef with you? What do you think?
Like me personally,
Yeah.
controversy sells, man. I mean, you're gonna get a lot more clicks for something bad than you would something good.
Do you ever just clown somebody just so you can start beef with them, or no?
Nah, I mean, I've had no reason to. There's been a couple people over the years that because I don't really have enemies like that. I don't beef with people. I have no real reason to though. I don't make that kind of music to make a beef with people really. I'm just talking about my own perspective. Like if someone has something to say about me on a song, I mean, I would probably demolish them, but like,
Yeah.
it's because I'm mean and I have no filter. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care. But now beef is important for like certain things. Like look for example, like Floyd Mayweather when he fought what's his name,
Conor
Conor
McGregor.
McGregor.
Yeah.
They took the same jet to the venue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
They got
wow.
the same accountant. Like, like it's all staged. It's all smoke and mirrors. But beef is important for sure. The beef with Biggie and Pac, it was one of the most iconic things to happen to hip hop. Really, it founded everything. Like it put a rift between everything. It really
Yeah.
started the different cultures of rap. It was kind of kicked off of that. Like rap started way before them, but it's just the lines got drew after they made it. So it's kind of intriguing.
Yeah, it's great. Me and Mike lived it.
Yeah, well, we were in
Yeah,
radio. We were in radio
at
at the
the time,
time.
but,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like we knew the
Yeah.
reps. We knew the record reps from Death Row. Like we knew
mhm.
like the guys from Bad Boy. Like they were nice guys. The guys from Def Jam. Okay, here's the problem. I think everybody keeps hyping AI, and Locust knows this because I know that he's been messing with it. It can do some dope stuff, but it can't do
Yeah.
what everybody thinks it can do. You know what I mean?
No, because if we get to the point to where it goes that deep, we're doomed. It's
Yeah,
the
but
end.
I
To
just
take
don't know
over.
if I don't know if it can go that deep. Like, because you can see the flaws. Like, if you're a creative
Well,
person, and you're a grinder, it is a tremendous tool to speed you along a lot faster than you would have done it.
Well,
but it
ponder
ain't
this,
doing it
right?
for you. Go ahead.
Well, we'll ponder this. So, how much memory does the average human brain contain? How many things can an average human retain over their life cycle? It really depends on several factors like genetic dispositions and et cetera, et cetera. If you really think about it, is the aspect of artificial intelligence eliminating humanity silly? It sounds crazy like on some Terminator movie stuff, but if you really think about how everything works, if we invent a system that knows how to build onto itself and learn, because all learning is repetition. How did you guys learn to do radio? Somebody showed you how to hit this button, do this, that, and third. Nepotism, which is my favorite word, put you into whatever, yada yada yada. You learned off repetition. You weren't born with that innate knowledge, though. It just happened. You know what I mean? Why is the human condition for learning more whimsical than a machine learning? We learn in the exact same way. It's just in a different way.
Creativity, Locust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Huh.
Well,
Whatever the soul is, whatever the spirit is, whatever it is that you believe is in the core, you're never going to be able to give that to AI.
no, but I'll say this much. It's not about soul or creativity, because even that is a spectrum. Like, what is art? If think about this, you guys are my OGs, right? So if half the rap that's out right now, let's just keep it a bean, right? If half the rap was out that's out right now was out during the Biggie and Tupac era, do you think that they would be making money? If you
Nobody
guys
would have
heard,
heard them. No, we wouldn't have played that
no,
garbage.
but think about it. If somebody would have, and I ain't even trying to burn nobody because I'm friend, I ain't trying to burn no bridges down the road. But it's one of these current little whoever's rapping. They can't rap. They can't carry nothing. Like, they have nothing to talk about. And without auto tune, you know what
And
I'm
there's no
saying? They don't.
wordplay either. Like there's no
Right.
wordplay. There's no rhythm. Like, you need
Right.
to do something that I can't replicate. If you can do
Right.
something I can't replicate, then you're an artist. If you can do
Exactly.
something that I can just repeat immediately, nah, bro.
Yeah, I'm not
That ain't-
impressed. Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's what rap music for me was as well. It was like impressive. Like, that's why Tech Nine was so impressive. His flow, the fact that he could think to say these words in such a way that it'll go together. Eminem, same way, beautiful wordsmith. You know, and that you never know what the hell he's gonna say. That's why when these people drop records, people, like our generation, even listen to it because it's that next thing. What are you gonna say? Now I've heard everything on the radio. Okay, you rode up on the ops with a glizzy. Your Glock got a switch on it. You know what I mean? You riding on a Harley Davidson, you got a bitch on it. It sounds the same. It's all the same. You guys aren't talking about nothing new and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different though now. But
That's
what
it.
is talent? Like, talent, if it wasn't for auto tune, which I don't know if you guys, well, obviously you probably do, but you know how auto tune works is it takes your voice and then the system tells you, okay, well, you're naturally in a B flat. We're gonna put you in C. You know what I mean? And it's gonna sound weird. That's why it's got that little robotic effect. T-Pain cracked it off first with that Unsprung. Actually, the first record I ever heard with it was Cher. Do you believe in love? Yeah, that was the first time I ever heard it commercially used when I was a kid. I was still in
Roger.
elementary
Zapp and
school.
Roger.
That was Zapp and
Roger
Roger.
Troutman?
Yeah.
They were using a bass amp.
Was
Oh,
they really?
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
Okay,
had
they
they
had that
had
sound
a
effect though, huh?
it was a hose that went to a bass amp, and
Yeah.
it made that
Okay.
same sound.
But that's the thing with auto tune though. That auto tune just changes the dynamics of the sound that you're hearing in your ears. So that's an AI system that's doing that. I was just at the studio before this podcast. Like, we were looking at it because they auto tune artists now, and they have all these new things and crap. And it's like, that's all it is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I know,
Isotope, I don't.
but it ain't gonna make something that slaps. That's the thing. Like, only a person can make something that slaps. You can
Right now,
utilize it as a
yeah.
tool. You can
You got
utilize
to
it as
think
a
though.
tool.
There was a time where people said, "Man, only birds fly. Only birds can fly." It's
Nah, bro.
crazy to think that we would leave the ground. You
It's
know
a
how many
diff-
people laughed at the Wright brothers when they dropped their airplane?
that's
Same
that's
thing.
that's a different thing. That's a different thing. Being able to fly all those things, that's science. That's understandable. Blah blah blah.
Before long, we're gonna have automated airplanes. They're
Be
already
able
working on autonomous cars, and before you know it,
that
'cause you
that
can
doesn't.
you can write a song with AI right now. You could do an AI lyric generator. It'll
And it
make you
sounds
the
like
beats.
I know it sounds like garbage.
So crazy.
I've already
Yeah,
messed
but
with
this
it.
is in the infant stages of it, though. We're in the very infantile stages of
You
artificial
sound like
intelligence.
every engineer that tries to explain this to me. There's
Yeah,
something. I'm telling you, Locust. There's something in your soul that makes dope music, and there will never be a
yeah.
robot that can do that.
There'll never be a robot that can do what I do. I'll tell you that 1,000%. But there's also never going to be another human being that can do what I do the way I do it. I can show you exactly how I do every single step of what I'm doing to make a song, and you could not replicate the way I do it
So
because
that
I have a certain tone. I have a certain soul to my sound. It's
Yeah.
embedded. It's baked in the way that I carry myself, the way I carry my cadences, my flatness, my nasaliness, whatever
and
it is.
the true artist will always be that way. You understand? The true artist
Mhm.
will be the perfectionist. No AI can
But
do that.
I'm not arguing that, but what I am arguing is art. Art is subjective. See, I grew up. You guys were my big homies, like I said. So I looked up to Tupac and Wu Tang and Tech Nine and Eminem and DZK and Immortal Technique and da 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 da. I looked up to these people for their wordplay, their delivery, how they did things. I was like, wow, I'll never be able to do that like you do it. But I learned. I took the time to learn and make my own sound. But a robot could turn around and do it in 20 years. We don't know. We don't know. Dude, I have an iWatch, like one of these Apple watches. I never thought I would have a watch on my wrist where I could watch YouTube videos and do all that.
And nothing impresses me in that manner because here's why. The human is ever evolving and the human is ever beautiful. AI will never catch us. Specifically when it comes to art, and art is the most important. Something that I don't recognize that I never knew anything about, but if I know it's art and I can see that it's beautiful, it's not as subjective as it seems. There are certain universal things we can all look at and go, man, it's beautiful. And there's certain universal sounds that we can hear and go, man, it's a slapper. It just is what it is. Although I will say this, it does seem that way, but it must only be in the Western world. Because sometimes, bro, I listen to like Indian people playing like the sitar and like all them weird instruments, and they sing like this, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to listen to this music. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy that you even bring that up. I know you're being funny with it, but if you think about the
I'm being
recording
legit.
techniques, like the recording techniques to different places, like that slaps to them.
Yeah, no.
And to us it's like, no, this is weird. It was like, to me, one of the things I got flamed for early on was UK drill. I laughed when I first heard some UK drill because I was like, these fools ain't got no straps over there. They hitting people with bats and stuff. And they ain't got no guns over there. But then you go and look at the whole background of the culture, and it's like, oh, okay, it's the same thing as over here. They're just more oppressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
One way or another, it's just the way it is. God created us, and that soul will never be put into an AI. And whether you want to believe in God, whether you want to believe in the soul, whatever it
I
is,
believe in God. I'm afraid of that which I have no control over. AI is like, we don't know what we're playing with. Just like when we're splicing cells and we got
yeah,
that particle collider. You know what I mean? The
yeah.
CERN. Like we're already tiptoeing around stuff that I wouldn't mess with personally. I like outer space and whatnot, but we already, the Mandela effect is real. I believe that there's a lot of things that are different from what I remember as a kid. There's so much we don't understand. What if we ourselves are AI already? I don't know. We don't know. This could be a simulation. Rick and Morty could be right. We could be in a simulation and a simulation and a simulation and a simulation. None of us have the right answer. There's 30,000 gods in the world. I believe in a creator for sure. I do. Something
Yeah.
created me, because something's observing me and my actions right now. And it's not just the people on this show. Like something is observing me for
I'm gonna
sure. I just
say
don't know what that is.
the reason I don't think I'm in an AI is because the homeless dude on the side of the road, that's not a good AI, man. He got screwed on this video game if it's a video game. You know what I mean? But I guess to a certain
Yeah, but think
extent,
about something. How do you even know people you walk across or see in everyday life are even real? Like, they don't even have a soul till you talk to them. Well, these could be non-player characters. We don't know. We just assume we know.
Interesting.
What
Blowing
if
my
when we
mind.
walk up to each other and we walk by each other and don't say nothing? What if neither one of us have anything capable to say? What if there's no voice in the opposition until you speak to that voice, because there's power in the tongue. So what if the homeless person you're referring to is in fact an AI just like you, but you don't know his sentience right now? Maybe his sentience isn't even real. Maybe he's just a shell as an NPC at posing as a person. Sounds crazy and speculative, which it is, but everything is crazy and speculative. All a
I don't
fact
know,
is
man. If I
something
was an
100
AI, I wish my back wouldn't hurt this bad, dude, or my shoulder.
Hey man,
I don't
I
want to
wish.
go to no physical therapy no more.
Yeah, shit. I feel you. I wish my legs wasn't crooked either, but you
Yeah,
never know,
man. What
man.
kind of AI is this
You know,
then?
hey, that you never know,
Part of
man.
the experiment. Part of the experiment.
It
Hey,
is.
hey, Locust. What I want to ask you too, man. You mentioned Jay Spools out in he's
Yeah,
in
that's my
Pittsburgh
dog.
now. He's in Pittsburgh now.
That's my dog. I
Okay.
believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Because you got a couple tracks with him, and then
Yeah, yeah.
you also got T Davis.
That's my bro. Yeah. Shout
And
out to Davis.
what like if someone would want to expose people to your music too, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
if
where
there
can
was
they
like
find you,
3
Locust?
tracks, yeah, where they can find you, but like 3 tracks they must listen to. Like
Let's
if there was
see.
3
Dang.
like right off the
If I
bat.
had to pick 3 tracks of mine for y'all to listen to, man, you put me in the tight one. I ain't never been asked that one before.
Okay,
It's
well go
usually
follow
just
him on YouTube for sure.
yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
CrippleKingpin.com, CrippleKingpin.com. You can go to my website and all that. It's got all my socials on there. You can Google Lokust Luciano. If I was to say pick 3 songs to check out, I would say Coping Mechanism with me and my bro DL Downer. That's one of the newer records that we just released before the start of the new year. Minding My Business is probably my most
Okay.
well-known record. And I don't even know. Like for me, for once is one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. That's one of the songs I like. I like performing it the most. That's one of my
Okay.
favorite songs.
Okay. What's on the show schedule? You got something lined up?
Right now, I'm just kind of living in the studio, man, in and out of sessions. I got a bunch of like stuff going on at the same time simultaneously. I'm working on a project that I'm doing. And then me and DL Downer got another album because we had dropped an album in December, but we have another EP that's getting
Well,
ready to drop.
how long?
Um,
How long do you go between records, between EPs?
well, before I signed with Blue Pie, I would drop like a project every year or two, and now I'm involved in a lot of projects. I got my project and the project I'm doing with him, but I'm doing some producing on the sides, and then I got into some ghostwriting and all that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
NDC can't really,
Okay. Getting
non-disclosure,
paid.
NDA.
Yeah.
I mean, really can't say much, but yeah, I've been trying to get things together, man. So I'm just always on the go for sure, and I got a lot of stuff coming. As far as shows, I don't I'm trying to think when the next one we have confirmed because we just got back from and where did we get back from? We did shout out Albuquerque, New Mexico. We just did New Mexico for the end of the year. We did Lancaster for New Year's Eve, and we're gonna go back to Hawaii. We gotta go to Houston. We're gonna go to New York City. I'm gonna wind
Wow.
up in your neck of the woods. I'm gonna be up in Pittsburgh in a couple months. I gotta do some more stuff with my boy Jay Spools. We're gonna shoot another video or two.
Yeah, dude,
Uh,
hit me up when you're up here, dude.
oh yeah, no, for sure. I'll come mess with you. You sell black and
Yeah.
miles up there? I'll come get some black and miles
No,
from you,
we
man.
don't, but I'll get you taken care of. Don't worry.
All right, I got you. Well, I'll fly out with some Cali weed, man. Don't even trip. I got you. All right. I'll just keister that shit. Never, don't worry about it.
All right,
We're
you
good.
guys. Well, don't forget to follow us on the Chino Brothers. We're at like 9,500 on YouTube right now, 3,100 on TikTok, and everything else we don't really pay that much attention to. But we're on Facebook and all that too as well. All right, thank you so much, Locust, man, for coming on the show.
Oh
Thanks,
man, thanks for
Locust.
having me. It's
Appreciate it,
been an
man.
honor, you
Yes.
guys.
Dope.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate you. Stick around for 1 sec, dude. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you later.